Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
ABC News. I'm Dave Packer, searching through the rubble for survivors in Venezuela, where some 50,000 people are still unaccounted for after Wednesday's powerful twin earthquakes. ABC's Victor Oquendo.
As the death toll from the devastating earthquakes in Venezuela nears 1,000, remarkable rescues of the most vulnerable are giving fresh hope against all odds. Crews saving an 18-day-old baby named Juan and his mother. Teams cheering as they carefully brought him down from the debris to be reunited with his father.
The U.S. strikes back on Iranian targets.
According to Iranian state media, this strike happened just off the coast, or really on the coast, off the Strait of Hormuz, essentially Iran's southern shores. And what U.S. Central Command is saying is that this was a response to an attack on a commercial ship that was transiting the Strait of Hormuz. We know that the Strait of Hormuz has been really the focal point of this war over the past several months.
ABC's Christian Cordero. Secretary of State Rubio said an agreement reached Friday between Israel and Lebanon begins to put in place a framework for lasting peace and security. An end to the fighting in Lebanon is a key part of the agreement between the U.S. and Iran. Former senior Pentagon official Mick Mulroy.
The problem is Iran's the biggest issue when it comes to regional stability. They fund proxy forces around the Middle East, including Hezbollah. Hezbollah is probably their premier proxy force. They likely have IRGC officers embedded with them right now.
Former National Security Advisor John Bolton pleaded guilty to illegally sharing classified material.
Maryland U.S. Attorney Kelly Hayes says a hacker believed to be associated with Iran successfully got into Bolton's account.
He put our national security at grave risk in violation of the law.
As part of the plea deal, prosecutors have agreed not to seek more than a 5-year prison sentence. Bolton's sentencing is set for October 28th.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. You're listening to ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
I've been telling you all about the secret war on our cash and the free report you can receive a copy of by contacting Swiss America at 800-289-2646. I'd also like to encourage you to subscribe to their podcast on YouTube. Just search Swiss America Trading. The podcast can provide you a ton of vital information and financial news in the challenging and uncertain times we're in. Subscribe today. Learn more about BRICS, industry leaders, and their market predictions for the future, along with what you might expect to see in terms of precious metal performance in the weeks and months ahead. Message and data rates may apply.
Fair & Company of Saks Fifth Avenue has officially emerged from Chapter 11 bankruptcy with a new name. The company will be now known as Exemplar Luxury Group. CEO Jeffra Van Romdenick says that they're now ready for the next chapter after several tumultuous years. A gas leak led to a house explosion that damaged at least 36 homes in Twinsburg Township, Ohio. That's located between Cleveland and Akron. Fire Chief Earl Wilson says amazingly only 2 people suffered minor injuries.
There's damage not just controlled to this neighborhood, but on a street on either side, and sometimes 2 streets over.
Officials say the gas leak was likely caused by a contractor drilling. A happy ending to the story of Gracie the missing giraffe.
Gracie the giraffe has been found safe and healthy, Texas authorities now say. Cedar Hollow Ranch had been searching for the animal since Monday, with her owner even offering a $5,000 reward for information that led to her safe return. But the manager of the ranch, Vic Jones, was able to locate Gracie by helicopter about 4 miles south of the ranch in Texas Hill Country. Gracie is a reticulated giraffe known for its rectangular spots and is estimated to be about 4 years old. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Serena Williams has been drawn to play 20-year-old Maya Joint of Australia in the first round at Wimbledon for her first singles match in nearly 4 years. I'm Dave Packer, ABC News.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It will be mostly cloudy and humid today with some rain and a rumble of thunder, high up to 75. Clear to partly cloudy and humid tonight, low down to 66. Partly sunny tomorrow with a passing shower or two, high up to 80. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Riddy, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Rob Fracks on the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
State Health Secretary Deborah Bogan yesterday issued a strong call to action in the wake of a measles outbreak not seen in Pennsylvania for more than 30 years. We've been talking about this measles outbreak throughout the country, have we not? We are not just sitting back and watching this virus spread, Bogan said at the Lancaster State Health Center. We are working with local healthcare providers and meeting people where they are. Speaking yesterday morning from the epicenter of the outbreak, Bogan held the first media event dedicated to the surge in measles cases reported this year, reassuring citizens in central Pennsylvania that the state was taking action to help curb the case count. Listen, what I was saying when we first started talking about this story, I will say it again. There is a reason why science research has really prevailed through the decades. I am a child of all of these diseases and these vaccines, from polio to TB, tuberculosis. But we have to understand that a lot of people, sadly, are pushing away from modern medicine for whatever reason. And I think a lot of it started to happen during the COVID crisis. And I went on record, I got everything that I needed to get, meaning inoculated with the vaccines, because I believed it was the right thing to do. Look, when you're an adult, 21 and over, in my opinion, and that's when I think that tag should be placed on someone, 21 and over, you have the right to make the tough calls. You do. But I'm also a believer that when it's a parent making decisions for their children, they have to do the right thing and side on the side of caution. And I think that we need to rethink what is happening with the vaccine situation in our country. And also, I believe that in many cases, we have gotten away from a strong immune system by just, being human, being out there in constant contact with people, out amongst the elements, in the air, doing things. We have become so hermetically sealed in the home or wherever we call our place of business. And since the pandemic, many people have gotten away from going out and mingling and spending time in the real world. And we're only fooling ourselves if we think that we're ever going to be able to beat what modern medicine has done. Good, bad, or indifferent, the miracles of modern medicine continue to unfold every day. And when it comes to your children, you need a good pediatrician, and you need to stay the course and at least examine everything when it comes to your child's health. Just a thought process. You have the final say. But there's a reason, in my humble opinion, that a lot of these diseases simply are coming back with a vengeance. Ukraine launched a major nighttime attack on a dozen Russian regions. Russia held Crimea and the surrounding seas, Moscow's defense ministry said Friday, in what appeared to be one of the biggest drone assaults since the Kremlin's full-scale invasion more than 4 years ago. Listen to this. Russian air defenses intercepted 660 Ukrainian drones. Russia's defense minister said the previous biggest Ukrainian attack over the past year, as Ukraine has accelerated its drone development, involved 556 drones on May 17th. This is modern warfare. This is what's happening on a global scale. It's what really has given that regime in Iran a chance to live to fight another day because of what they've been able to do with drones. I think our country now more than ever must face reality. We may not be in it to totally win it as far as in the Middle East, but every time the president tries to get out, more things happen. And if you have been hearing over the last 24 hours with our colleagues at ABC News Radio, once again, the president is retaliating with aggression. Drones will make it almost impossible to really get to the finish point of any war because no matter how small or large a country is, if they have the capability to strike with deadly intentions with drones, no one is safe. I mean, think about the citizenship. You have everyday people that are out operating these drones doing incredible things, and they have basically learned to do it either by watching a video or the instructions that come with these drones. But we're talking massive pieces of weapons that are flying through the air over enemy lines and into places with a heavy civilization, meaning a population that basically is the innocent bystander at the wrong place at the wrong time. Modern warfare is changing, is it not? But in the one sense, when it comes to Ukraine, this may be that final straw. This may actually give them a chance to either defeat Russia, and boy, would that not be wonderful to end Vladimir Putin's reign, but also force Vladimir Putin's hand to get back to the bargaining table. And in the end, that is the most important thing, is it not? Getting this thing to the finish line. And I believe if the Ukraine-Russia war stops, a lot of these other things that have been escalating throughout the world will start to dial back, slow down, and eventually be eradicated. And just maybe we can all learn a lesson that it's much better to live in a peaceful world as opposed to one that's not. Because with these drones, it really could be a war that could escalate around the world involving every country, no matter how large or small. Now, something we basically just did moments ago in our morning blog that I want to talk about. I saw this in the PG. First thing this morning when my eyes opened a little after 2 a.m., Allegheny County officials already bracing for deep budget cuts to stabilize the government's finances recently learned that the pension system is in such dire straits right now, they will likely have to implement a staggering increase in spending just to keep the fund solvent. In a preliminary report to the County Retirement Board, a consulting group warned that officials will need to come up with an additional $90 million to $100 million to contribute to the fund each year for the next 20 years to pay the money it owes to retirees. Now, do not blame this on Sarah Innamorato. Don't blame this on the current council. This is stuff that's been going on for a long time. And this is why whenever you and I get together on this show, whether it's the weekends or our nightly show throughout the week, I keep talking about job creation. The only way that this is going to get better is by us simply creating more affordable paychecks, dumping more tax revenue into the county and into the region. And thus, when you are paying county employees, you won't feel the pinch as bad because you'll have money coming in. We need to get back to manufacturing. And one thing that I know and believe in Sarah Innamorato, she knows it's about job creation. But I also love the fact, whether it's tax reassessment or this situation, at least they're talking about these issues and the media is covering them. Because for the longest time, we just kept sweeping things under the rug. You know what? Out of sight, out of mind. Don't pay attention to it because it eventually will go away and everything will be okay. Or we'll get that ace in the deck and find a way at that last second to fix it. No worse for the wear we will be. But you see, all of this stuff is stockpiling. All of this stuff is stockpiling. And right now, more than ever, we have to find a way to finish it. Now, speaking of hard workers, I got to give these folks some love. I don't even know who they are, who they represent. So I'm coming to work. I get off the Green Tree exit, 376, and then I come down that little Holiday Drive and do my thing and get to work right here in Foster Plaza. There was a crew at the intersection just up the road. Pouring rain. I mean, torrential downpour. This was a little after 3 a.m. And they were out there, hard hat and those rain slickers, the big bucket backhoe working, and they were doing their job. And I thought to myself, Rob, anytime that you think of complaining about anything, lack of sleep, what you do, a long day, don't do it, okay? Because there are people out there working a whole lot harder than you. So if any of those workers right now happen to be listening to me, know that you are appreciated. I mean, if you'd have seen them, I'm thinking, these people, we're so fortunate to have hardworking people in Western Pennsylvania. Hey, as always, you can listen to us at 100.1 FM, AM 1020 KDKA on that Odyssey app, AUDACY. You can also watch us, KDK Video Stream, presented by Metropolitan Window Company. Just go to kdkradio.com and click on KDK Radio Livestream. And, of course, our KDK Radio YouTube page, where you can watch everything happening in the studio. 866-391-1020. NASCO Roofing Instant Access to our shows to click away. Email us at instantaccess@kdkradio.com. And if you know someone in your community who has done something extraordinary in the past year, nominate them now at kdkradio.com to be honored at this year's Larry's Hometown Heroes event. Coming back to take your calls. We're just getting started for our Saturday on KDKA.
Your source for the AccuWeather forecast. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
News Radio KDKA Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Connor Griffin returned to the lineup and hit a homer. Paul Skeens on the hill didn't take the loss, but he just couldn't get it done, nor could the Pirates. They lose to the Reds 6-4 the final, and they'll be at it again today, 4:05. You can hear it all. First pitch, 93.7 The Fan. Maple Leafs select Penn State's Gavin McKinnon, number 1 overall pick NHL draft last night in Buffalo. Penguins select forward Liam Ruck with the 22nd overall pick in the draft. The 6-foot, 174-pound right winger put up 104 points in 68 games with the Medicine Hat Tigers of the Western Hockey League this season. And World Cup action yesterday, it was France defeating Norway 4-1. Team USA back in action on Wednesday, July 1st, 8 Eastern against Bosnia-Herzegovina in the round of 32. And through 2 rounds at the Travelers Championship, your leader is world number 1, Scotty Scheffler. He shot a second round 60. He's at 16 under, good for a 2-shot lead. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Retirement, it's almost here. Are you ready? Well, join Kurt Kanodik and Ethan Lane of Accurate Solutions Group for your retirement blueprint. Let Kurt and Ethan help you plan for your retirement dreams. Don't miss your retirement blueprint, Sundays at 10. Investment advisory services offered through ASG Investment Management, LLC.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Yeah, we're getting ready for that 4th of July holiday, just days away. All sorts of things happening, huh? All right, let's get to Tim in North Hills. He joins us now on KDK. Good morning, Tim.
Morning, Rob. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I just happened to wake up early, heard you talking about Dr. Deborah Bogan's press conference yesterday out in Lancaster. I have a somewhat educated opinion about this. The state of Pennsylvania continues to ignore mandatory medical reporting of a specific tick-borne disease called alpha-gal syndrome. And you have to bear with me as I get to my point. This disease that is spreading throughout the state of Pennsylvania is currently not a mandatory reportable disease. So we don't know how many cases are occurring. Kids, 40% of the cases of this disease are occurring in our pediatric age group. The kids that get this are not able to be safely vaccinated against diseases like the measles and other childhood diseases. The state continues to delay and ignore that this is occurring. So we don't know how many cases are occurring. And last year, the CDC admitted that the black-legged or deer tick, in addition to the Lone Star tick, has been transmitting this disease. We have a cluster of cases in the central part of the Pennsylvania, the eastern part of Pennsylvania, in the Pine Barren region. From
All right, so let me, hey, Timmy, let me interrupt you here because a lot of that stuff's kind of going to go over the head of the audience. So what do we need to do to kind of get this stuff in the corral again? Just give me your thoughts on what we need to do.
We need to make this disease mandatorily reporting, because what I'm seeing on a national scale, where these cluster of alpha-gal syndrome cases are occurring, you're seeing outbreaks of measles. I spoke in 2018 in front of the National Tick-Borne Working Disease Committee in Washington, D.C., and I addressed this. Members of that committee I spoke in front of included people from the CDC and the National Institute of Health. At that time, in 2018, those folks were not aware that these kids were not being vaccinated. That included my daughter, who was the first person back in 2011 to be correctly diagnosed with that disease here.
So you really think the big picture is these ticks are doing a whole lot more harm than people realize?
Yes. Oh, yes. This is a secondary public health concern that I raised back in 2018, and they were dumbfounded, and that gave energy to why you're seeing more stories of alpha-gal syndrome on a national basis. The Associated Press, in fact, put out a story, I would say, in the last 8 to 10 days, and now newspapers and news agencies are beginning to carry it. But what they're neglecting to include is the relevance of kids not being able to be vaccinated. It's not that the parents don't want them to be vaccinated. It's the only available approved vaccines contain mammalian-derived ingredients, basically alpha-gal 1,3. And I'm going to cite this to you. When I first started getting involved with this disease back in 2011, the only available flu vaccine for military service contained alpha-gal or mammalian-derived ingredients. That put several vets and military people, not in necessarily the hospital, that put them into the ICU. There's no documentation of somebody dying, but that was a very, very real possibility. The following year, the U.S. military said, hey, we will offer an alternative military vaccine. And currently, if you back check my facts, sir, you'll find that the U.S. military will not accept a recruit that has alpha-gal syndrome because the majority of their vaccines, or the vaccines presently available, all contain mammalian-derived ingredients.
All right, I appreciate the call. That's a little deep for the audience, but, I've often said this whole tick thing, because, I go back years talking to people who've dealt with it. There's just so many things in the world outside today. Even the wildlife element that we continue to talk about, and everybody just kind of seems to fluff it off, the bear population, the deer population. We've really crossed each other's paths, and we're in the way of one another. And what we have to understand, the human element is a whole lot different than the animal kingdom when it comes to immune system and illnesses and this and that. One of the other things that we have talked about in recent years is the rabies situation. We have so much wildlife basically around us that, first off, they're not as intimidated as they once were by the human element. And now when you have all of these diseases out there and these things that can happen, it's not good. It just is not good. There was a time when I was growing up, if you saw one deer in a year, it was a big deal, right? Now there's not a day that doesn't go by, and the coyote population is spilling into the cities. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And there's been other sightings of bobcats. It's just, and they carry all these ticks. So, even when you're out mowing your grass, it's just a different world today. And I don't know how to correct it, but I do know this. You better have a good physician, a PCP. Your child needs a pediatrician. And I think this is, again, my opinion. You need to stay the course. All right, a couple of other things before we get right back to the phones. The U.S. strikes against Iran involved 6 U.S. aircraft attacking 4 targets, that according to ABC News. And then I saw this from just a couple of days ago that I wanted to bring it up today. You know, we're worried about gas prices and our economy and how many trillions we're in debt. One of the reasons why I wanted the president to crush this regime and to get the global economy working again, and I think the Iranian people handling the trillions that is available because of the oil reserves there, it could go a long way to help not just us, but places around the rest of the world who are going to need help, like Ukraine once this war is over. But the Pentagon, now they're seeking an additional $67.1 billion, in part to cover war costs. Where is this money coming from? Where are we going to get this money to pay these bills? I mean, and this is the thing that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it. President Trump, once the midterms come, you're going to see him basically fade away into the shadows. You'll see him from time to time, more ceremonial type of things, state dinners and what have you, but he's not going to be fire and brimstone. He's not going to be screaming. You're going to see more of J.D. Vance. You're going to see a lot more of Marco Rubio. You're going to see a lot more of Pete Hegseth. You're going to see a lot more of Carolyn Leavitt. You're not going to be seeing this guy. He'll still be doing what he needs to do, but it's about that time. Once the midterms have come and gone, win, lose, or draw, you only have X amount of time, because within a year after that, they will start running for the White House, and you will have everybody coming up and saying, I want to be your president. I think the Democrats will probably have anywhere from maybe 8 to 10. And I think the Republicans, even with the Trump administration and the people in that administration having a good opportunity to claim the nomination, you'll have at least probably 5, 6, maybe even more Republicans running, and it'll be just crossfire. One thing after another, everybody taking shots at one another, and guess who loses out? We do. The American people. The American people. You know, I was watching this documentary about Abraham Lincoln on Netflix, and I've been trying to do a lot of stuff on my social media platforms to tie into our 250th birthday. We've been doing stuff here on the radio. We'll do a little bit more Monday and Tuesday night. But what Abraham Lincoln did when he won the first time, all of the people that opposed him who wanted to be president, he put them in his administration. Why? Because he could keep an eye on them. And he also basically knew that they were good at what they did. And that's the reason why they were running for the highest office in the land. And he felt more, meaning more heads than one. If you get 2 or 3 as opposed to one thought process, you have a better chance of coming to a better conclusion, because it's that recipe for success, right? Well, right now, Donald Trump has got some really strong people in his administration. And he knows basically for them to carry on his mission that he will not be able to, he's got to get out of the way. He's got to let them start their own thought process. They've got to make up their mind. Is it J.D. Vance out of the 3 or 4 in that administration? Look, I wouldn't be a bit shocked. Maybe not in 28, but I believe in 32, Carolyn Leavitt could be in some position to run for one of the president or the vice presidential seats in America. You may laugh at that. I wouldn't even be a bit shocked if she leaves the administration after Donald Trump's term, even though I'm sure they'd want her to stay because she's a bright light, that she runs for Senate or Congress just to kind of get out there. The worst thing that happened to the Democrats happened in New York recently. Jack Schlossberg, the grandson of JFK, did not get elected. And I think shame on my party, because that's going to come back and really haunt us, because he was a bright light. He was someone that could go toe-to-toe with some of these young people in the administration of President Trump, not because I want more name-calling and finger-pointing and arguing, but I want an opportunity to debate issues. And one thing I can say about Vance and Rubio and Carolyn Leavitt and Jack Schlossberg, they'll be arguing issues that are going to be for future generations, meaning my children and yours. 866-391-1020. Lines available. More calls after ABC News Radio, which is next.
Suffering from peripheral neuropathy? Learn how over 15,000 sufferers regained their comfort, mobility, and quality of life with Tri-State Neuropathy Center's successful treatment plan that is FDA-cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free. Here's Sean Ritchie, D.C., and Tri-State's founder about one of their many satisfied patients.
Rick from Irwin suffered for 14 years with peripheral neuropathy from an autoimmune disorder. He was super skeptical when he came in. He'd been going to doctor after doctor, and they told him there was nothing that could be done. After qualifying Rick for our program, utilizing our FDA-approved, most powerful equipment on the market today that's non-invasive, no surgeries, no drugs, we were able to get him almost 100%.
Tri-State Neuropathy Centers helped Rick. Let them help you next. Call 724-940-9000 for a free consultation. That's 724-940-9000. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
While you sleep, there are people you've never met who are working hard to make your morning. People who get up at ungodly hours to make sure you get the information you want. People who dedicate their lives to make yours better while you sleep. These people come together during the Big K Morning Show with Larry Richert, 5:30 to 10 in the morning, to make sure you have the best news, traffic, and weather to start your day. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Searching through the rubble for survivors in Venezuela, where some 50,000 people are still unaccounted for after Wednesday's powerful twin earthquakes.
The coastal city of La Guaira hit hardest, building after building flattened. This woman, who says she has multiple family members trapped under the rubble, begging for more help from the government. Saying human strength is not enough. They need heavy equipment to help them with the search.
ABC's Lauren Glassberg. Iran got its response 24 hours after its drones targeted a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. Central Command says American aircraft struck Iranian missile and drone storage locations and radar sites along the coast. Secretary of State Rubio said an agreement reached Friday between Israel and Lebanon begins to put in place a framework for lasting peace and security. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton pleading guilty to illegally sharing classified material. This is ABC News.
Before you book your next vacation rental, here's something worth knowing. On one real 7-night stay, a family could have saved over $1,200 just by booking directly with SWAC Vacations instead of going through a third-party site. That's real money toward dinners, groceries, beach gear, or a few extra experiences on the trip. Compare direct pricing first at swacvacations.com. SWACK Vacations, same stay, fewer fees.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It'll be mostly cloudy and humid today with some rain and a thunderstorm. Somehow the rain could be heavy, high up to 75. Staying humid tonight, low 66. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or two, high up to 80, up to 88 on Monday. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Rindy, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, I'll be back in Monday. Yep, on the morning show, Big K Morning Show. Colin Dunlap with you Monday morning. Can't wait to start the week off right. 5:40 until 10 a.m. on Monday, right here, KDK.
All right, your Pratt Pack rolling through another marathon weekend. We are just underway for a Saturday here till 1 o'clock. We have a lot of stuff happening. Andy is going to be here today in the 7 o'clock hour. We're going to be talking some really cool stuff. So when you tune in at 7, you're going to hear Andy Amron a few hours early. Normally he's here at 10, which he will return for the True Value Home Improvement Show. Best of edition today, Secure Money Advisors on the Money with Brian Caranta. 9 o'clock, MediConnect, the Inside Connection. And then, of course, True Value, AAA Essentials Talking Travel. And then Zachariah Brown Brackovich. It's Law for the Elderly. Looking forward to that today as well, too. So busy day. Love to hear from you. One other thing I want to bring up before I get to Ken and Lower Borough. I saw this story, and others have been talking about it. Texas is saying you got to get the Bible back in the classroom. How do you feel about that? I'm just curious. And if you were a child, as I was, a product of a daily prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance, do you think it helped us, or do you think it was not a good idea? I think it was harmless. I think it kept us grounded. I don't have an issue with it. I know children that end up going to a school such as one of the Catholic dioceses where there's a faith-based education. I think it's a good recipe. But I also think it may not be the Pledge of Allegiance, but we need to be teaching more about what's happened in our country over the last 250 years when it comes to patriotism. And I think it would help go a long way for us to start realizing that our military is such a key when it comes to the sovereignty of the United States. So give me your thoughts on that. 866-391-1020. Here's Kenny in Lower Borough. Always good to have him on the air. Good morning, Ken.
Good morning, Rob. About that last guy, I was a little over my head with all the diseases here. He was starting to mess with your mind, I guess, a little bit too. But anyway, I keep going back to the basics. When you introduce 20 million people into this country that are not vaccinated, that could be a problem, especially for people my age and your age that have had our shots. And if we're exposed to measles, we will probably get it, unfortunately. The result may be good or bad. But anyway, I had an interesting week last week. My brother-in-law was in from Florida, Democrat like you, so I didn't really argue any points with him. That was fun. I just let him see what Pennsylvania does to its people compared to what Florida does to its. And it's just interesting. We had a wedding in Ohio, so I drove out there, which I hate to drive. But anyway, he's like, well, we got gas here, $4.59. Ohio, I picked it up at $3.59. 4.5 hour drive. I filled up the tank on $19. So I would think Ohio has a little bit of advantage on us on that end.
Let me ask you, is it worth driving that far to get gas because you're going to just use that gas coming back?
I went to a wedding. I was going to a
wedding. So you didn't just go get gas, okay.
No, I didn't go get gas. I went to a wedding. And my nephew that was from here was getting married out there, and the opportunities for him at this point are endless. He graduated here. Well, he didn't graduate here. He got his GED here, and we didn't know how he was going to make it with things. But he went out there, and he did pretty well. He's doing pretty well.
Where were you at in Ohio?
I think it was Summersville.
Oh, okay.
I was driving, and he was reading the GPS, my brother-in-law, so.
All right. Okay, let me try. Okay, somebody put you on. Yeah, you got put on hold by accident. Go ahead, man.
The construction out there, it's off the chart. I mean, there's so many more advantages out there. I mean, I was looking at a place to retire for me and the wife in a few years, and we could go out there, and then when we get old, they can take care of us. It's a shame. I mean, you would think I would want to stay, but I don't know. And then I have to tell you, I went to the airport. You want to talk about insane. I mean, you play up the airport how great it was, but there's so much stuff that it's not that old. I mean, the shuttles, I went in the wrong parking. Nothing was marked correctly. There's so much stuff it's a year old that's already broke. I don't know if you've been to new airports. One of the stores there, and I don't know how he was doing it. He goes, "There's days that I sell a bag of potato chips." I was like, "Dude, are you kidding me?" He goes, "No, that's it." And this guy, I was there for an hour and a half before, so I got to look around, and I think UPMC opened a green space which you couldn't get into because they had to have inspected. They had a secondary one they ran out of money for. I don't understand. I mean, you've played up this airport for a year, and trust me, it wasn't anything spectacular to me. Then you have your retirements. Allegheny County is going to raise its taxes through the roof to keep these retirees going. But you know what? The laws that the old school Democrats put in place, they need to be changed because you can't put those bills onto the people living here now. It's not fair to us. and they're going to have to do something about it. I mean, you can't sit there and say we got to bring in manufacturing because nobody's going to come here. My brother-in-law, we were leaving at 4 a.m. Nothing was open. Driving down, he said, even if you were going to a job, can't even get a cup of coffee at a gas station. They're all closed up here. I mean, come on. There's got to be a different way, and they have to change. I mean, your party went communist. You could sit there and say, I'm not part of that Democratic Party. But it is. You are. You put a D on your name, they don't know if it's you or Summerlee or you or AOC. It's all the same.
See, but you know what, though? Here's the thing, though, Ken. I don't think it's anybody's fault who currently is in office. This stuff's been going on for, I mean, literally since the mills went away. I mean, we have never been able to rebound, and we're just basically spending money we don't have. It's like one big giant charge card, and we just don't pay the bill.
Well, you're sitting there saying the people in charge right now don't have a say. Well, look at it this way. I'm sitting there listening to somebody on county council and in Allegheny County, which I don't know who they are, and they're trying to sit there and say that these games that aren't being taxed, that the casino's any different from the games that aren't being taxed. And it's all the same. It's a sin. It's a sin tax. And you know what? If you're playing at a gambling machine down at the BP station or whatever, or you're at the casino, it's both the same way. It shouldn't have been here to begin with. We didn't need the revenue. If we did, they should have made the cuts back then. And who does it hurt? The people here. And I'll give you a key example. The news, it's reporting on this heat wave over in Europe. Heat wave, oh, nobody has air conditioning, blah, blah, blah. Do you understand why a lot of those people don't have air conditioning? Those houses are 200-300 years old. The infrastructure isn't there. The electrical grid couldn't even handle. I mean, a main service coming into a house is 60 amps or less over there. I don't know what they rated in. What an air conditioning unit's a 30 amp fuse. I mean, it's just they need to report the truth. And the infrastructure over there was never brought up to where it should have been. A lot of these people can't have air conditioning units. 200-year-old hospitals. How are you going to put AC in that? It's just you can't.
Well, but then I see some houses that are being built, up in Adams and Marshall Township. Let me tell you something right now. There are some folks that are doing it right. Listen, I've gone into some neighborhoods over the last couple of days because I've been doing a lot of social media stuff, and I must tell you, some of these homes are absolutely beautiful. So, look, you're always going to have the past, the present, and the future. That's just human nature.
Oh, understandably. I was doing in the spring, I was doing electrical work in a $2 million home, 3 sub-panels and a main. I mean,
let me ask you something. With all due respect, and more power to them, but how does somebody afford a $2 million home? I mean, the utility bills alone, who plows the driveway? God bless them, but I mean, I can't even wrap my hands around that.
Yeah, I was a little concerned about how they were paying it, but as long as I was getting paid, I don't really care.
Well, but let me just say this, and I got to move on. I got other people wanting to talk to me. But if we're really that bad, how is it that these folks in Washington County and Butler County, even places in Beaver County, how are they able to build these homes? How are they? Somebody's making money.
Well, the people that are here that have the money, I mean, you have I call them the rich liberals in the town, but you have a lot of people that don't want to be in town. They leave. They go out to your area, Wexford, out there, and all those surrounding areas, and they're nice developments. And you know what? You go where you can afford, where you feel that it's safe. And obviously, you have a lot of people leaving there. So then you have people that are stuck there that can't leave. So.
All right. What's your day like today? It's raining. You get the day off?
No, I got it. No, I don't. Actually, there's a guy in from Nevada. One of my customers had passed, and his kid's in, and I'm going to go up and he's already emptied 3 dumpsters. He's throwing everything away. He just says he says he's just getting ready for the sale. And a lot of this stuff's useful. Unfortunately, a lot of people were they could have benefited from this, but they're not. He has a time limit. He has to get back.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. I've made up my mind, and I've been doing this since I've kind of been remodeling my little home in Beaver County. I don't collect a lot of stuff. Never have. I mean, other than when my kids were small and they were growing up. Obviously, you have to have certain things, but I go bare minimum, man. Bare minimum. I don't like a lot of clutter. I just don't like it.
Roll roll-off box after roll-off box are getting filled, and I'm taking what I think I can need, and I may need to use, but other than that, I'm not taking anything extra.
Now, do you have a garage and a shed just full of stuff?
I have well, yeah.
I bet you do. Two of everything.
A few. No.
Well, that's because you use that stuff to work every day. I mean, it makes sense. All right. All right, Kenny. Hey, listen, have a great day, bud. All right, Teddy up there in Mount Washington, we're going to get to you in a moment. So does anybody else have anything to say about Texas saying let's get the Bible back in the classroom? I think as important, now faith is important, but I think that's something that really should be a part of the family unit, right? But it can be in school too. But I think patriotism and the flag in this country as we celebrate 250, because we need young people now who are going to, from elementary to middle school and beyond, carry on the history of this country, to continue to make history moving forward, and to continue to embrace the flag and the country moving forward. What do you make of that? 866-391-1020. We got lines open. We are in open talk until 7 today, so I'd love to hear from you. 866-391-1020 is the number to dial to be on the program today. And also, Harmony Organic Insect Control. We're going to be talking all about it in the 7 o'clock hours. You get a very early edition of Andy Amrine and EV True Value. So stay with us. Good morning.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independence Health, a look at all things healthcare with the experts from Independence Health System. It's brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Connor Griffin returned to the lineup and hit a homer. Paul Skeens on the hill didn't take the loss, but he just couldn't get it done, nor could the Pirates. They lose to the Reds 6-4 the final, and they'll be at it again today, 4:05. You can hear it all. First pitch, 93.7 The Fan. Maple Leafs select Penn State's Gavin McKinnon, number 1 overall pick NHL draft last night in Buffalo. Penguins select forward Liam Ruck with the 22nd overall pick in the draft. The 6-foot, 174-pound right winger put up 104 points in 68 games with the Medicine Hat Tigers of the Western Hockey League this season. And World Cup action yesterday, it was France defeating Norway 4-1. Team USA back in action on Wednesday, July 1st, 8 Eastern against Bosnia-Herzegovina in the round of 32. And through 2 rounds at the Travelers Championship, your leader is world number 1 Scotty Scheffler. He shot a second round 60. He's at 16 under, good for a 2-shot lead. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-746-3737. That's 800-746-3737. 800-746-3737.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Every year, almost 30,000 babies in America are born with birth injuries. It's every parent's worst nightmare. If your child suffered a birth injury, please call our firm to find out if we can help.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Teddy up there on Mount Washington on a rainy Saturday morning is now in the center square. How are you, Ted? Good morning.
What's going on, Rob?
It's a rainy Saturday, and we're at it again. How about you?
Oh, living that American dream, man.
So how many years have you watched the fireworks from your front porch on 4th of July?
You know what? It have to be close to 20 years. Maybe a little bit longer.
Got the best seat in the house, huh?
Yes, but I do remember a time when we celebrated the 4th of July on the 3rd of July. Only one time that happened, and it was Sophie Maslow, if you can remember, when she was mayor.
Okay.
They got into a dispute. I forgot. I don't know who was doing the fireworks. I forgot that family. It was a budget crunch. So what she did, they had the 4th of July on the 3rd of July. That's the only time in the city's history they did it.
Why'd she do that?
She didn't want to pay. It was a dispute with the fireworks company. I remember that. And she didn't want to pay. It's going way back. She did not want to pay the freight for the 4th of July. So they did. They had it on the 3rd of July. You can look that up. That's the only time.
Oh, no. Listen, you're not going to – I'm not going to doubt you, man. I mean, you grew up here.
Man, that was so hilarious. And I remember the late Sophie Maslow, if you remember, she was the first one to also say that the Pirates and Steelers need a new stadium. And she got shouted down. She's way ahead of her time.
She was. Well,
I remember those things during administration.
Here's the thing that you bring up that's so important to talk about. To give people an idea, that's why you can't be pointing fingers always directly at current people in office. The city's been having money trouble for a long time. I mean, a long time. I mean, and I'm going to throw this out there this morning, and I don't know if anybody's going to even want to respond to it, but I was just thinking, you see Corey doing all this cool stuff in the city, getting UPMC, Highmark, they're going to step up and really give them a whole lot of money to get new fire trucks, this and that. And I'm not saying he's doing a better job than Sarah, but they're both bright, young people, and they got a Rachel Heisler in the mix, and there are people on the Allegheny County Council, and there are people on the City Council. Do you think if you would actually merge, would it work? Would it help, do you think, if the city would merge with Allegheny County?
Well, they're going to have to. Rob, we don't have the population. Look, from 1965 to 1991, we lost 300,000 people. Okay? That's when the city and the region went decline. And you're right. Not just because of the mills, but also the area changed. We're not that city. We're not that region we used to be. The structure of government was set up for a population that big. We don't have it anymore. And that's why you've seen a steady decline. And if you're a taxpayer, what you want is transparency. We don't have it in government. You got to show the people why you're raising taxes. You got to show the people what you're doing. And you got to be transparent about that. And the knock I have with Allegheny County, they're not doing that, Rob. They're not. You can't go to the taxpayer and raise their taxes without being efficient with their money. I mean, what Sarah's doing is absolutely, I just totally disagree. You can't hire your buddies and then give them great jobs, and at the same time, the Allegheny County can't even support Meals on Wheels. We got senior citizens starving in the county. That's just pitiful. And O'Connor, he's doing what he can, but at the same time, show me where the money's going. Show me what you're doing. And if you do that, you know what? Hey, then you get people to say, okay, now see what's going on. And that's the frustration with government, because once you're a creature of government and you grow up in it, people are a little bit the trust in government is just not there like it used to be. It really isn't. And that's when your politicians have to do a lot of work, and they have to be able to communicate and demonstrate what they're doing. And also, like you said, go get those jobs. The county's not doing that. They just, for some reason. When is the last announcement you heard from the Allegheny County that they're either recruiting or they're bringing businesses into the county? I haven't heard it.
Well, you listen. You just can't keep raising taxes. You can't, and you can't be paying bigger paychecks to people in the county. You can't do it because it's going to implode. It's going to implode. And a lot of these people, what happens, they rob Peter to say Paul. They really do want to make a difference, and then their time runs out, and then you get to reset, and then somebody gets elected, and it's like every first administration in the presidency always tries to change health care. And they never do it. I mean, and the only way you make health care and everything else more affordable is by getting better paying jobs. And what a lot of people don't realize about these health care facilities, they have the great paying jobs the skill set jobs to where these are the people that are bringing their paychecks and that tax money back into their communities. We're just going all about it in the wrong way. That's my opinion.
Oh, I agree with you. Look, for one, do you want government health care? Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. The Bernie Sanders crowd, that's what they want. But when you ask them how you're going to pay for it, they have no clue. Everything comes for a price. And if you want decent health care, if you want decent education, you want housing, it has to come from somewhere. And you're right. You can't just raise everybody's taxes. You got to form some kind of partnership with private entities. And, like I said before, we got to live within our means. We're spending way too much than we're supposed to be. And that's the thing. I don't know, Rob. I agree with you. I think if you go around this country, almost every state is in a deficit. And, you see people, they go to where there's less taxes. Some even go overseas just to escape inflation. And I don't know what you do. I mean, and I understand that the younger generation, they're frustrated. But, like I tell them, you can't wait for government to solve your problem. You got to solve it yourself. And, you can throw pity parties and say socialism is great, whatever. But to me, it's up to the individual. Sometimes if you live in a town that doesn't have the jobs or whatever, like my one friend, if you're a buffalo hunter, you got to go where the buffalo are. Sometimes you have to leave, that county or leave that city to go find better opportunities. And you can't wait for somebody to help you do that. You have to go get the skills. You have to get the education. You got to do what you got to do. And for some reason, a lot of the millennials are scared to take risks, scared to make mistakes. I don't understand it. They're not go-getters. Some are, but most of them are just waiting for Superman to rescue them. I don't understand, Rob.
Well, I also think because many of them are so upside down with student loans and other debt, and credit card companies are sending credit cards to 18-year-olds. I mean, and by the time it's time for them to get into the real world, they're afraid to break the apron string because they know at mom and dad's house they get 3 squares and a place to put their head at night, and then they just keep racking up bills, and then the student loan comes due. We're not giving them a chance to have a job to start generating cash flow right away. That's why so many people are going into the building trades, carpenters, electricians, plumbers, because these young men and women know they're going to work. They're not going to have to pay tuition. They get the job, they get it done, and they start making a paycheck that they can go out and buy a car. They can go out and buy a house. They can go out and, buy groceries and put gas in their car and save some money because they're getting a good paycheck, and they're going to have a pension in 30 years, and they're going to have good health care. I don't know why more young people just don't simply say, look, the only way to fiscal sanity is by physical labor. Teddy, good stuff. Appreciate the call. All right. No takers on this Texas saying we got to get the Bible back in the classroom. I thought many of you would have something to say about that. On the other side, I'm going to talk about what Australia is talking about doing when it comes to social media and people 16 and under. You don't want to miss this. It's absolutely mind-boggling how nobody gets it. They keep pushing away responsibility from the people who should have all the responsibility, and that's the parents. All right, 866-391-1020. Lines available. One more hour of open talk. And then Andy here talking Harmony. We're going to be discussing all sorts of good things when it comes to that great brand, Harmony Organic Insect Control, and that brand we talk about all the time, Sniper. That's coming up today at 7 on KDKA.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Are you smarter than an anchor man? And we have Joe from Penn Hills as a lifeline for me. Joe, what do you like? A, B, C?
Oh, I like the Super Mario. Is that A?
I'm going with you, Joe. You're my lifeline.
The answer was B, Incredibles 2.
Come on, Joe.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt death, the IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-6623. 800-499-6623. 800-499-6623.
Tickets for Kids will host the Dress Big Happy Hour on Wednesday, July 22nd from 4 to 7 p.m. in the Casamigos Club at PPG Paints Arena. Join sports celebrities and TFK's friends from the ticketing, nonprofit, corporate, and foundation communities for a silent auction, hors d'oeuvres, a cash bar, and the chance to play carnival games on the arena floor. For tickets, go to the events link at ticketsforkids.org.
Now more than ever, we're the station you can trust for the information you need. KDKA. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 67 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 6 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. An Armstrong County woman is facing theft by unlawful taking, receiving stolen property, and other charges after investigators say she stole almost $300,000 from a refrigeration company she used to work for. DA's office says 34-year-old Ashley Apperson of Leechburg stole from the Ventec Refrigeration Company in Penn Hills between January of last year and May of this year. DA's office says nearly 90 non-payroll checks that were unauthorized by the business were issued to Apperson. Prosecutors allege Apperson also made unauthorized purchases on a company credit card. Police say Apperson admitted to using some of the funds for online gambling. She faces a preliminary hearing in early July. Charges of homicide were held for court on a 16-year-old accused of killing a 19-year-old in Market Square back on May 11th. A district judge made that decision Friday after a hearing in which prosecutors outlined some of the details that led to the shooting. Prosecutors allege 16-year-old Bajan Dankins fired 4 shots at 19-year-old Terrell Little, striking Little twice before Dankins fled. A Pittsburgh police officer testified he began performing first aid on Little, who was found near the Chipotle at Market Square in a pool of blood, according to prosecutors. Police also said that Dankins had violated his house arrest 4 months prior to the shooting by cutting off his ankle bracelet. Well, crews have been getting Point State Park concert ready as the America 250 PA Commonwealth Concert Series invades the Point this evening. Musical acts Nelly, Third Eye Blind, and Frizzy will perform this evening to a sold-out crowd. Gates open at 5 o'clock this afternoon. For the city of Pittsburgh, the concert marks the start of the 4th of July festivities, culminating with Pittsburgh's 4th of July fireworks extravaganza next Saturday, July 4th, also at the Point. Well, our sister station, WAMO 107.3, teaming up with the city of Pittsburgh for their Juneteenth finale celebration being held today at Highland Park from noon to 4. And we talked to WAMO's Kiki about today's event in Highland Park, WAMO Day.
Small business vendors, food trucks. There'll be activities for kids. There'll be entertainment from local artists. So families can come out, bring their blankets, their chairs, their pocketbooks so that they can support the small businesses, just basically keeping the tradition of community and family-friendly events alive. And we're just happy to partner with the city of Pittsburgh and, of course, Juneteenth.
And today will also be a very special day for Kiki as she's being honored by the city for her many contributions and for the passion she's shown throughout the years for the station's heritage and history with a proclamation. KDK Radio News Time at 6:03. We've got the AccuWeather forecast coming up.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathy Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's ruffgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's ruffgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It will be mostly cloudy and humid today with some rain and a rumble of thunder, high up to 75. Clear to partly cloudy and humid tonight, low down to 66. Partly sunny tomorrow with a passing shower or two, high up to 80. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Riddy, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
What's going on, Rob? How you doing today? And nice to hear about that Whammo Day. And congratulations to Kiki. I've been listening to that station since I was a young lad. Still love it. So what's going on?
Well, the new Pittsburgh Courier will officially be at Whammo Day today. We've got a table that we're setting up, and I got some commercials airing on Whammo this morning and early this afternoon promoting Whammo Day and, of course, promoting the fact that the Courier will be out there. So everybody's excited about this year's Whammo Day. And, of course, yeah, Kiki getting the proclamation from the city for all she's done. I remember listening to Kiki when I was a senior, I think a junior and senior in high school. So she's been on Whammo for a long time.
She's really solid. Love what she does. Love that brand, too. You know, a lot of people don't realize when you think of radio history, obviously you think of KDK, but hot on our heels was Whammo.
Yeah, Whammo started in 1948 as WHOD, and then the call letters, of course, WAMO. The A stands for the Allegheny, Monongahela, Ohio Rivers. And, so Whammo's been around for a very long time here.
You know your stuff. So have you been enjoying the soccer? Turkey, we couldn't get it done, but that's okay. He had 9 different starters in there from the win over Australia. But Bosnia-Herzegovina, it's July 1st. It's this Wednesday. Great way to kick off the holiday weekend, a little early, 8 o'clock. It'll be here on the East Coast. We'll get a chance to watch, and hopefully they will fare a little bit better, which I think they will, because a lot of the big-time players will be back in that lineup.
You know, when I was watching, the U.S. against Turkey.
I know. Why are they doing that to us? Like, I got enough things to deal with, let alone... I mean, Bosnia-Herzegovina is tough, let alone Turkey.
Turkey, yeah. I was watching, that night, and I'm thinking, I know Rob Pratt's going to ask me if I've been watching the World Cup, and I'm going to say, yes, I authentically have been watching some of the matches. So I've been keeping, I don't know, all 48 teams and what's going on, but I've been watching some of the matches. I can't lie about that.
So Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, and Colin Farrell were at that Team USA match, okay? I'm a big fan of Colin Farrell, the Irish actor, and I don't know if you have Apple TV or not, but it's in the 2nd season. It just started. It's called Sugared. It's about a private detective who wears stylish clothes and drives a really cool car. So I saw a little bit of the 1st season, and I'm not letting anything out of the bag. There's no spoiler alert here. And I kept thinking, this dude is really awesome. There's something about him. Here it turns out he's like an alien. It is one of the coolest shows on television. But this whole alien thing, I mean, now all of a sudden, UFO. You buy into any of that?
I don't.
No,
I mean,
man.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. Larry Richard would always ask me, I'm not a Star Wars guy. I'm not a Star Trek guy.
You're like the only person who's like 20 years younger than me. I mean, my 27-year-old son, the crew goes when a new Star Wars movie comes out. I mean, it's crazy. And then I find out about these Major League Baseball players who are my son's age who like collect Pokemon cards. And my son, I remember, he never asked for anything. We'd be in line like at the Kmart, and he'd say, "Dad, can I get some Pokemon cards?" And he just loved those Pokemon. And my oldest son, same way. I don't know what it is with this stuff, but these guys love that stuff, man.
Yeah, maybe it just you know
missed you.
It bypassed old Robbie Taylor here.
But I mean, honestly, they have watch parties. They get together. It's like a really big deal. And you know, when George Lucas sold the brand to Disney for like $4 billion, I think he sold it because obviously he's my age, a little older. That's more than enough money. But I think he knew this thing was going to continue to take on a life of its own for future generations. And I don't think he wanted to work that hard. I mean, you realize how many variations of that? It's like Star Trek. Star Trek was only on TV for like 3 years. And how many different movies, size, shape, makes, Star Trek Junior, Star Trek the Third. I mean, it's just incredible. Young Star Trek. I mean, Whoopi Goldberg was a part of it years ago when it made its triumphant return to television, and now it's in syndication. Movies keep coming out. People are just like fascinated with space.
And just to think, when I was watching Rescue 911 back in the day on CBS,
wow,
I thought William Shatner. I was like, oh, this is the man, and never knew that he was part of the the Star Wars.
Do you know how Star Trek? You mean Star Trek?
Star Trek.
You know how Star Trek got on the air? It was because of Lucille Ball. Desi Lou, which her and her husband had, which they sold to Paramount for like $13 million back in the day. Mannix, these shows mean nothing to you, but my generation, some of the biggest shows on television, her and her husband greenlighted, and the one that nobody wanted to greenlight was Star Trek. And Lucy said, I don't know, there's something about it. And it did have a really good life early on, and then budget constrictions and all the other restrictions and all the other things that go with making something that would cost a little bit more because of costumes and, you know, locations and equipment and set design. But, it's gone on to make a gazillion, billions and billions of dollars, man.
Yeah, and there's a part of me that wishes that I, was into it, because then I'd have more things to talk about. But I just never really got into it.
Have you ever watched the original Star Trek at all?
I don't believe so.
Well, anybody who knows it, I had a crush on Uhura. She was like,
what's her name?
Uhura. She was great, loved her. Then you had Spock, obviously, Leonard Nimoy, and I never realized Leonard Nimoy then went on to star in Mission Impossible on television with Peter Graves, who was the brother of James Arness, who was in Gunsmoke. So they went on to have an incredible career. But here's the amazing thing. Most of the cast, sadly, is no longer here. But Bill Shatner is like 94 years old, and he's still doing Raisin Bran commercials.
He doesn't do Priceline anymore?
Well, you realize that completely ignited his career again. And then they must be getting big coin. These Comic-Cons, they're bringing in, Charlie Sheen, who was making $2 million an episode until he screwed that thing up. But I love Charlie Sheen. But what I'm saying is these Comic-Cons, these people must get paid some serious money because they get some big-time people.
Yeah, they usually have here in Monroeville.
Yeah. They're awesome. So, what did you make of the NBA draft? Anything jump out at you?
I just wasn't really into it this year. I don't know. I think I was just so much on a just excitement of the Knicks.
About the Knicks, right?
Yeah, that it's almost like, to me, almost felt like the NBA draft almost didn't happen.
Well, this Gabansta kid who is going to Washington, I think Washington Wizard fans are going to have something to cheer about. They're going to have him, Anthony Davis, and Trae Young obviously signed the new deal. So if there was ever a chance, Washington, and here's the latest scuttlebutt, because of Giannis going to Miami, they're saying LeBron, because Lakers haven't offered him anything yet, he may be going back to Miami. And Jaylen Brown is being, tossed around maybe to Detroit, leaving Boston. Some think he'll stay. I don't. What happens if he ends up in Miami?
I really want to see LeBron end his career. He started his career in Cleveland.
He should.
End his career in Cleveland. See if you can get him one more title. You got Harden there and, Donovan Mitchell and Jared Allen. I think LeBron with that team in Cleveland, to me, has the best chance to to get a title because Cleveland wasn't that far off. You ran into a red-hot Knicks team. Yeah, I don't think the Knicks are going to win the title next year. I just don't think that
in the cards.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do it. So LeBron, just come on home.
Yeah,
just
why
come
not?
on home one more time.
Like, does he really need $50 million? Come on,
No,
30.
yeah.
He'll be fine. We'll give you 30. Come back.
He'll be fine.
So I'm watching late last night, and I'm trying to get to bed, but you never do this shift. I don't know what it is. You're always looking for more information. But I was watching some of the NHL draft. Maple Leafs select Penn State's Gavin McKinnon, #1 overall. But the Penguins picked a young man by the name of Liam Ruck with the 22nd overall pick. 6 foot, 174-pound winger, put up 104 points, 68 games with the Medicine Hat Tigers of the Western Hockey League. But one thing I looked at when I was watching the NBA draft and the NHL draft, these are kids. I mean, they're like younger than my children. I mean, and they're putting on that jersey of the team that they're going to be representing. NBA, some of these guys, because they're leaving school early, I mean, they're like 18, 19, 20, 21 years of age. And these hockey players who basically been playing junior hockey, some of them since they were 15, many of them are barely shaving. So it's amazing how youth is served when it comes to professional sports.
Liam Ruck, born February 21st, 2008. I mean, my man is not even 19 years old. How old is he? Let's see.
Well, it's like 18.
18 years. He just turned 18 in February.
Life is good.
Man, time is flying. That's what I'm thinking.
First thing I do, I go out and get myself a bad car, like a Corvette. Something, just black and gold Corvette. If I was signing with the Penguins, man, that's what I'd be getting my hands on. All right, brother. Good to see you. And, hey, tell them again about the big day today. Whammo.
Oh, yeah, Whammo Day. If you happen to be around the Highland Park area, it's just going to be like basically an outdoor,
little cookout action.
Cookout festival. You're going to see some local artists on the stage. You're going to see Kiki get the proclamation from the city of Pittsburgh, but you're just going to have a lot of food, a lot of fun, just celebrating Whammo, celebrating.
I used to listen to Sly Jock.
Oh yeah, Whammo's Kiki's father, Sly Jock.
Yeah, man. So I mean, that's how far I go back.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a huge Whammo fan since I was about 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. So, I'll be there today.
Listen, first thing in the summertime that we did when we got to the city limits, turn up that volume, man.
Turn on Whammo.
We loved it. All right, man. Okay. Good stuff. All right, Eli, in the car. We're going to get to you in a moment. Stay with us. It's your Pratt Pack, 866-391-1020. Back with more in a moment.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Connor Griffin returned to the lineup and hit a homer. Paul Skeens on the hill didn't take the loss, but he just couldn't get it done, nor could the Pirates. They lose to the Reds 6-4 the final, and they'll be at it again today, 4:05. You can hear it all. First pitch, 93.7 The Fan. Maple Leafs select Penn State's Gavin McKinnon, #1 overall pick, NHL draft last night in Buffalo. Penguins select forward Liam Ruck with the 22nd overall pick in the draft. The 6 foot, 174-pound right winger put up 104 points in 68 games with the Medicine Hat Tigers of the Western Hockey League this season. And World Cup action yesterday, it was France defeating Norway 4-1. Team USA back in action on Wednesday, July 1st, 8 Eastern against Bosnia-Herzegovina in the round of 32. And through 2 rounds at the Travelers Championship, your leader is world #1 Scotty Scheffler. He shot a second round 60. He's at 16 under, good for a 2-shot lead. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Here's a World Soccer Championship preview.
Brought to you by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's. And by the first ever Infiniti QX65. England looks to shake off their disappointing draw earlier in the week and a win over Panama sends the 3 Lions into the knockout round. Panama is eliminated and cannot advance no matter what. Ghana can also win the group, but that requires a win over Croatia and some help. I'm Mike Conti.
In Pittsburgh, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 25 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Pittsburgh. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Andy Amrine here for Harmony Garden Organic Insect Control. This is not your average garden variety insect killer. Harmony is your only insect control you need for your garden. Nothing is safer, nothing works better than Harmony. Spray your trees, flowers, plants to kill garden pests including aphids, green fruit worms, mites, soil lice, and russets. To get your bottle of Harmony, ask for it at any participating True Value hardware store or online at harmonyoic.com.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
At EasyCater, we believe every workday gets better with great food. The 9 a.m. staff meeting? How about breakfast burritos and lots of coffee? Big client presentation at noon? Let's do Mediterranean bowls. Accounting's gotta work late. Keep them pepped up with spicy noodles. With EasyCater, you get a huge variety of favorite restaurants with tools to help meet dietary needs and stay on budget, all on one platform. So make every workday better with EasyCater. Start an order at easycater.com.
Don't miss the Pittsburgh Music Festival, July 11th and 12th at Pittsburgh Brewing Company in Creighton, featuring Joe Grishecki and the House Rockers, Billy Price Band, Norman Nardini, The Gathering Field, and more. Benefiting Band Together Pittsburgh and Autism Pittsburgh. Presented by Pittsburgh Brewing Company and U.S. Steel. Tickets at pittsburghmusicfestival.com.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, Eli has been patient waiting and in the car today, and he joins me on Rob Pratt Saturday Morning, your Pratt Pack. Hey, Eli, how you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Okay. Couple things. Pittsburgh Public Schools, the scores are never going to go up. All of your good students have gone to Propel and other charter schools. They screen their students. The entrance forms actually ask, have you ever been involved with juvenile delinquency or probation officer? So we've milked the Pittsburgh public school system pretty good. And the thing regarding what's going on in Texas, there is no moral compass for kids today. There is no set system, value system, anything like that teaches them right and wrong. And so I think it's a good thing. Maybe they should tweak it a little bit and offer some comparative religions, because you'll find that every big civilization or culture has had a value system. So it wouldn't be bad to compare the Hindus, to compare Muslim value systems as well. And finally, I've enjoyed talking, or not talking to you, but listening to you, Rob, and it's not a good thing to keep driving and talking, so I'm going to get off the phone now. You have a good day.
All right, yeah, got to get that hands-free. Got to get that hands-free. All right, listen, so let's talk about something else that piqued my interest. So I see this story, ABC News, lots of other folks reporting it, and it's Australia. They're actually going to try to prevent anybody 16 and under from being able to be involved in any type of social media. That's right. Anybody 16 and under, Australia is saying, no, you can't mess with social media. All right, so here it is once again, that it's all about letting the parents off the hook. It's kind of like what's happened in government and what's happened with the job creation, the lack thereof, what we've had in politicians, what we've had in politics. Basically, everybody's trying to push the blame somewhere else, as opposed to the moral compass, the family unit, being together, discussing things, helping your children do more than just learn how to read and write and do arithmetic, but to really add up things that matter. Things that really are that journey of life, coming of age, understanding what relationships are about, what's good and bad as far as the human content, the body is concerned. Not just the body, the physical aspect, but what goes on between the ears with your brain and brain cells. And learning common sense and reason and compassion and loyalty to this country. I'm telling you right now, 16-year-olds are smart enough that they can bypass, get around, do whatever they need to do to get their daily dose of social media. Look, we have put it on the table, America. Children are now addicted to their phones because we gave them that opportunity. These smartphones are fabulous. Social media is incredible. I've said this before, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, X, YouTube. It's giving people, even baby boomers, a chance to stay in touch with the world around them, to be able to communicate. The only difference is because we're not swashbucklers, we're not young, we're not afraid to take chances, right? So we kind of understand there are certain places to go. We can take a sneak peek, and we know when it's time to make that room dark, shut off the light, and get out of there. But young people haven't had that same moral compass that we had because how we were held accountable, more so than not. Parents knew everything that was going on. We never were behind a locked door. We had music. We had television. We had things that could overtake us, but our parents made sure that we towed the line. There's probably not one of you listening right now, if I would say, what time was dinner time in your house? What time was bedtime? What time did you have to be in? And usually when those streetlights came on, everything had a cause and an effect. That's right, cause and effect. And even the music and things and culture and how we dressed, maybe to the point where it was extreme, but at all times they were participating. And I think what has happened in our society, we as parents are not telling our children no enough. And I was guilty of it too. There were times when I should have probably intervened more, but because I believed in my children long term, I knew they understood. And I don't know why. I just had faith, rolled the dice, was faithful, prayed a lot. I don't know, but it worked out. It's not over yet. They're still growing and learning and taking a step after a step after a step every day. And sometimes you hope they don't step into a hole or step over something that is mightily important for them to be of strong mind and body and soul moving forward. It really is roll of the dice. You don't know. But I think anytime you have the government, and I'm saying this to my friends in the place that is down under, if you think the government getting involved in telling people what their kids can and cannot do, that is a fatal mistake of epic proportion. Because now it'll make it even more seedy, it'll make it even more deranged, it'll make it even more hideous. And you know, children, meaning young people, 16 and under, what gets them into trouble more times than not, lack of fear, but also wanting to know about the unknown. And why are so many people not letting us be a part of it? Why do you think Elvis Presley sold a ton of music? Because they wouldn't film him from the waist down on the Ed Sullivan Show, so people wanted more. The Beatles, the long hair, the British Invasion, the Rolling Stones, why do you think they sold so many records? Because it was the bad boy image. James Dean, the actor who died at 24 in a car crash, he made 3 movies in 1 year. They were all classics and hits. Why? Because young people were pouring in. East of Eden, Giant, Rebel Without a Cause. Everything, when you make it a little bit off color, you make it a little bit deranged, a little bit dangerous. And if it's something your mom and dad don't like, then you got to definitely see it. But you see, my parents, what they did, they gave us small doses of things. They let us experiment and check things out. And the other thing that my parents did, when I grew my hair shoulder length, when I got an earring, and I did all these things that, even a tattoo, was kind of like really outrageous for the time, my dad was cool with it. Never said a word, where other men in the neighborhood wouldn't let their sons do those certain things. Because my dad, I asked him years later, I said, why did you let me kind of step outside the box a little bit? He said, because you have to grow. It's all about culture. It's about getting to know the world that you live in. But he also knew that I would not step too far out of that path because the price would be too great. Not that he would physically punish me, but he would start subtracting and not letting me have those opportunities. So anytime I had a chance to go into the forest and see the forest through the trees, I embraced it. And I, like a sponge, took it all in and I processed it. And I knew where I could go and where I couldn't. Because if I wanted this freedom to be the person I wanted to be in the time I was living, I had to stay within the rules of the road. And I think you can do that for your children, but you have to build trust and you have to build content. And I think the government should not be involved, but parents should be. 866-391-1020. More of your calls coming up in just a bit. Rob's coming back with that news at 6:30. Don't forget, Andy is here today. Harmony Organic in the Spotlight and Sniper. 8 o'clock, Best of. Secure Money Advisors on the money. It's MediConnect, The Inside Connection, True Value Home Improvement Show, AAA Central's Talking Travel, and Zachariah Brown Brackovich, Law for the Elderly at noon. Long way to go. Stay where you're at. Your Pratt Pack, KDKA.
This is attorney Christine Brown Murphy with the law firm of Zachariah Brown. If you have a loved one in a nursing home, we need to talk. Give our office a call at 724-942-6200 or visit our website at pittsburghelderlaw.com.
For 250 years, America has been more than a place. It's been a promise, a story of courage, hope, and dreams. And through it all, local TV and radio broadcasters have been there, telling the story of America, bringing truth to light. Broadcasters tell the story of who we are and who we aspire to be. We are America's storytellers. We are broadcasters. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hearing the news every day is one thing. Hearing it hit home is something altogether different. That's the difference you hear every day on KDKA Radio. We go beyond the benign headlines and bring the news to life, your life. So stay here and hear the news and what a difference it makes. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
It is 67 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 6:30. I'm Rob Taylor. Well, charges of homicide were held for court on a 16-year-old accused of killing a 19-year-old in Market Square downtown back on May 11th. The district judge made that decision Friday after a hearing in which prosecutors outlined some of the details that led to the shooting. Prosecutors allege 16-year-old Bajan Dankins fired 4 shots at 19-year-old Tara Little, striking Little twice before Dankins fled. Pittsburgh police officer testified he began performing first aid on Little, who was found near the Chipotle in a pool of blood, according to prosecutors. Police also said that Dankins had violated his house arrest 4 months prior to the shooting by cutting off his ankle bracelet. An Armstrong County woman facing theft charges along with receiving stolen property after investigators say she stole almost $300,000 from a refrigeration company she used to work for. DA's office says 34-year-old Ashley Apperson of Leechburg stole from the Ventec refrigeration company in Penn Hills between January of last year and May of this year. The DA's office says nearly 90 non-payroll checks that were unauthorized by the business were issued to Apperson, and prosecutors also allege Apperson made unauthorized purchases on a company credit card. Police say Apperson admitted to using some of the funds for online gambling. She faces a preliminary hearing in early July. Well, a downtown dedication on Friday recognized the lasting legacy of abolitionist George B. Vashon. News Radio KDK's Tamara Rush was there and has the details.
Vashon's great-great-grandson, Paul Thornell, joined city leaders in downtown Pittsburgh as a new historical marker was unveiled, recognizing his legacy as a lawyer, scholar, and abolitionist.
George B. Vashon was one of the first black college graduates, first black college professors, and first black lawyers in the country, but grew up here, right here on site at the corner of 3rd and Market Streets. His father, John B. Vashon, was one of the leading black businessmen at the time. He had a public bathhouse, which was the first public bathhouse in Pittsburgh. It was connected to a barber shop, and during the day he would cater to white and black clientele, and at night there were escaped slaves that were coming through because there was a stop on the Underground Railroad.
The marker now stands at 3rd Avenue and Market Street, where visitors can learn more about one of Pittsburgh's pioneering black leaders. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
KDKA Radio News Time at 6:33. The AccuWeather forecast coming up.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It'll be mostly cloudy and humid today with some rain and a thunderstorm. Somehow the rain could be heavy, high up to 75. Staying humid tonight, low 66. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or two, high up to 80, up to 88 on Monday. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Ridney, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, I'll be back in Monday. Yep, on the morning show, Big K Morning Show. Colin Dunlap with you Monday morning. Can't wait to start the week off right. 5:40 until 10 a.m. on Monday, right here, KDK.
All right, back at it. Andy is here coming up next hour. Harmony Organic and Sniper. We got a early edition of Mr. True Value. And then, of course, best of editions, Cure Money Advisors on the money. 9 o'clock, MediConnect, the Inside Connection, and we roll right till 1 o'clock. Here's George in Clairton. He joins us now on KDK. Hey, Georgie.
Hey there, a couple of things. One gentleman had called about the religion. And these are some of these are just rhetorical, not arguments, but conversations we've had over the years. And it's nice to say we need a moral compass. You know, we're definitely not a monolithic society, never were. You know, we're so heterogenized, and we're getting more so all the time. We used to say that's what made us great. Now it's all political. Who likes immigrants and who don't? But to have a moment of silence would be nice. But being a former teacher, I know what's going to go on. You're going to have kids in the hall. You're going to have kids screwing around. And it's just going to be a waste of time. That's why so many homerooms they've been eliminated the past maybe decade, if not half a decade, in so many public schools, just to get kids where they need to be, get them in the first period, and just move on. There's not time for all these other luxuries. And yeah, it's a necessity. But again, whose religion? You know, we don't even hear much about witchcraft and all that anymore. But at one time, that was almost a recognized religion too. And back to the phones, you said something about a cause and effect. And I always think of mother as a necessity of invention and all those old sayings, which are true. Ben Franklin had quite a few of them. What brought about our cell phone craze? I think it started with 9/11. We had flip phones in 93, 94. I used to see them when I worked in a restaurant also. Around Christmas time, everyone would show them off. It would be a pain in the butt trying to get their order. But as time went on, we got into 911. Parents wanted to know where their kids were, how their kids are doing. And that was the real reason. That was the pristine reason behind it, I feel. And like everything else, it gets exploited, and we just push it. As human beings, we're indulgent creatures, and we just push it and push it and push it.
Yeah, but you know, the thing about, listen, phones never need to be in a school setting. I'm sorry. That's a major distraction, and it's also holding young people back from, I think, achieving their goal of getting the most out of a public education. But you know, when we were growing up, the principal's office had a phone. Mom and dad needed to know, a school nurse, you got sick. They tracked your parents down. I think phones are wonderful, but they have to be used for when the children are away from the home, but not in this classroom setting. They have to be used in small doses at home. Same thing with a desktop, a laptop, television time, video games. Everything has to be spoon-fed. I think too much of anything is no good for you. And I think something else we've done in our society, George, where kids aren't as active playing outside as they once were because they're on these devices so much, I think it's causing health issues. Look, I can tell you right now, I drive home morning, noon, and night, okay? And in the summertime, you used to see, even when I was starting here at KDK in the mid-'80s and in the '90s, you always see, some sort of activity. People walking their dog, walking around the neighborhood, riding bikes, shooting buckets at the local playground, swimming in the community pool. I don't see anybody out anymore. I saw a couple walking in front of my house yesterday as I was going out to work. It was shocking. I don't even see people walking the streets anymore, let alone out participating, doing something. I don't see it.
Well, I think that comes from just humans. That's the nature of humans. But where I'm at, and there's not a lot of kids, there's probably about 8 of them, they're playing hoops, but they're all into their games, too. They're into their PS4s, PS5, and all this stuff. I've never played a PlayStation in my life. I haven't played a video game since Space Invaders. That was in 1980. I played Pac-Man in 81. Donkey Kong and maybe Mario, just because I liked the music when my girls were young. That was like 91. But I don't know anything about that stuff. I don't even know what a joystick was other than defining it in the computer class. So it's not my bag. I'm out there. I was already out with my dog, and I'm going to meet some teachers at Panera. Hopefully, if they're around. Who's left anymore? But that's what I'm into. I'm into conversation. I'm into the old-fashioned kind of things that I thought would all be doing by now. Like watching them old Spike Lee films with the old-timers playing dominoes on the city streets. I thought that would be me.
Yeah. Well, listen, we used to pitch pennies. We used to, skip rope, play jacks, hopscotch, girls, boys together in the neighborhood, pickup game of basketball, football, Fumble-Annie. I don't know if you remember that game where you would tackle someone, they'd have to throw the ball up, and that person, whoever got the ball, you'd go after that person. We were always, we played release. Yeah, we played all these games. Oh, horse, with the basketball. We did popping wheelies with our bike. We would gather around under a street light, and we would park it there for hours. And we'd have our transistor, or meaning our radios, listening to music. Honestly, I don't ever see any children outside playing anywhere anymore. And it's sad. I
just have a basketball court behind me, so they hoop. But they're young. They're pretty good, too. They can hit them side shots, which I always thought were challenging. But they're just as soon play their computers. They'll be playing them computers today if it's raining. Believe me that.
Well, listen, you know how you and I are old. We use the bank board. Kids today, they don't use the bank board with any shot in basketball. Even a layup, they just roll in off their fingertips, come in the front part of the rim, and they're actually above the rim. If anybody could even dunk, and I could only dunk a volleyball, and I think I dunked a basketball one time, but I had to use my left hand, and I can't figure that out. I'm right-handed. Kids today, 15 years old, two-handed slam. They're dunking basketballs. It's amazing. All right, thanks for the call. Let's go to Jane in Squirrel Hill. Jane, good morning, and welcome to the show. How are you today?
Well, I'm doing well, and I thank you. And I just got lost in that last conversation, and I will say, number one, the birth rate isn't what it was.
No, it's not.
So that's part of the reason you don't see kids.
Well, and Jane, here's the other thing, and I'm just going to be blunt, and I have no problem with it. I talk to a lot of young people just because of what I do for a living on this show and personal appearances and out and about, and people that have young children. I have somewhat young children. They come right out and say, many of them, we just don't want to have kids.
That's right. They don't want to have children, but I'm going to say there are two sides to that coin. They say, oh, well, I won't be able to afford them. Well, if you waited until you could afford them, you'd never have them.
Well, I don't think it's so much of the affordability. I think, and we could talk about this at a later day because it's a great topic, and I'm sure a lot of young people will call in. I think they're afraid because of the society we live in today. The drug culture, the violence. I don't care what anybody says. That stuff didn't exist at an epidemic rate that it does today when you and I were growing up. You didn't hear of these things.
Oh, well, I heard of drug use, drug abuse, overdoses when I grew up.
Oh,
yes,
did you? Okay. I didn't. We had one murder in my community the entire time I lived there. So I don't know. It was just a different time. But anyway, go ahead.
But, okay, I want to get back to the fact that kids, I believe, daycare started, let's say institutionalized daycare became a thing in about 1980 when women started to enter the workforce full time. So now you have two working parents and you have institutionalized daycare. And I think when you put these young kids in that kind of setting, they learn a routine, etc., how to live within a group. That sort of behavior has created a mindset, in my estimation, that has made people more inclined towards, I want to say, socialism or communal living. And it ruins the rugged individualism, I believe, that was part of America. So I think when we see these kids out there, these young adults protesting, joining these movements, I think they're inclined to identify with a group because of institutionalized daycare. Now, that's my opinion. I also listen to people talk about vaccinations. I listen to that man talk about ticks. He's very right about ticks, okay? There are some ticks now that are out there that if you get bit, you can't eat meat. And I've read about that. Of course, we have Lyme disease, which comes from the deer that are running wild all along western Pennsylvania, particularly in Pittsburgh. And if you can figure out how to get rid of them, you'd be a gazillionaire. And I think as parents, we have abdicated our authority to everybody else because it's much easier to get dressed and go to work and not have to sit at home and deal with kids because it is never ending. And so I think we have to look at how we're dealing with our children from birth through adulthood. I think we have to teach them to be independent. We have to teach them to be curious. And I think this SpaceX deal, everybody talking about Elon Musk and SpaceX, et cetera, that is to get our young people more curious about science and technology and mechanics and see what you can do to pique their curiosity because they're not the curious, independent people that they used to be. And I attribute that to sort of communal raising.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, listen, all of that makes sense. I mean, I got about a minute before the break here. All of it makes sense, but I think what's happened, kids are in the home so much playing video games and doing things inside as opposed to being outside. I think the parents are overwhelmed. Instead of
the parents are also on their devices too.
Yes,
they can't break away from them.
You're right.
I think a lot of them ought to get outside and clean their, mow your lawn, pick up the garbage, teach your kid how to say, play outside and be curious about 4-leaf clovers. Go look for them in the grass.
Good.
There's just no creativity.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Jane. 866-391-1020. One more segment of Open Talk. Been a busy first couple of hours. Then we'll kick into our Pittsburgh Works mode until 1 o'clock. Love to hear from you. Anything, tons of topics out there for you to choose. We'll come back and wrap up this hour in just a couple of moments. Stay with us. Your Pratt Pack, KDK. Good morning.
When you need to know, depend on the news leader. At home, in your car, or at work. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM. AM 1020 and KDKA-radio.com.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Connor Griffin returned to the lineup and hit a homer. Paul Skeens on the hill didn't take the loss, but he just couldn't get it done, nor could the Pirates. They lose to the Reds 6-4 the final, and they'll be at it again today, 4:05. You can hear it all. First pitch, 93.7 The Fan. Maple Leafs select Penn State's Gavin McKinnon, number 1 overall pick, NHL draft last night in Buffalo. Penguins select forward Liam Ruck with the 22nd overall pick in the draft. The 6-foot, 174-pound right winger put up 104 points in 68 games with the Medicine Hat Tigers of the Western Hockey League this season. And World Cup action yesterday, it was France defeating Norway 4-1. Team USA back in action on Wednesday, July 1st, 8 Eastern against Bosnia-Herzegovina in the round of 32. And through 2 rounds of the Travelers Championship, your leader is world number 1 Scotty Scheffler. He shot a second round 60. He's at 16 under, good for a 2-shot lead. More sports at 937thefan.com.
I'm with Joe Potocznik, JP Roofing and Siding, with an exciting opportunity.
Normally, Larry, we offer $500 off any complete roofing and siding replacements. For our spring promotion, we're offering an additional $500 off.
Joe, that's $1,000.
That's right, Larry.
You better call today. The roofing experts, JP Roofing and Siding, 412-829-7711, 412-829-7711. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Larry.
Your neighbor Mike loves the summers in Pittsburgh, but he hates to paint, so he called Rhino Shield. And right now, you can get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price.
The thing about Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds, and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or biglou.com.
Are your property taxes too high? You have from July 1st until September 1st, 2026 to file an appeal of the Allegheny County Property Tax Assessment. Contact Richard Ernsberger at the law firm Barrenden Ernsberger. Call 412-391-2515 for the help you need.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Hear about it. Then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
You know, not that I'm here to give you parental advice, because we could all do a better job, and that means me as well, right? And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and I see bad things happen to good people every day. But, you know, I think one of the biggest problems that we're dealing with today is just lack of that interaction that is communicating. And I have noticed on my evening show in recent months that I'm getting a lot of calls from people in their 20s, young families in their 30s, people in their 40s, engaging in conversation from everything from the Pittsburgh public schools to the measles situation that we were talking about earlier today, to what's going on in Ukraine, obviously gas prices, Iran, a little bit of everything, because they want to be engaged. They want to talk. And one of the things that I think that we need to do, especially if you have teenagers, and the summer is just kind of kicking off for many of them, right? Those that are like, 16 and older. We were talking earlier about how in Australia, they want to prevent people 16 and under from having any ability or any kind of connection to social media whatsoever, which I think is a bad idea, because you're only going to make it taboo, and you're only going to make it more dangerous, and more young people are going to want to buy in, and they're going to go to darker places, and people are going to capitalize on it, just as they have many times in the past, whether it's drugs, alcohol, gaming, whatever, when it comes to young people, because they're vulnerable, right? But I think young people need to be able to adapt. They need to be able to have conversations. They need to be self-sufficient, and they need to start learning on their own. So I started thinking back, what were some of the differences? And not that my generation was perfect. Millennials, not that they were perfect. Generation X, Y, Z, no one's perfect. But when you stopped having children getting out, whether it be on the playground or outside the classroom, on that bus, engaging in conversation, extracurriculars, all of the above, I think you started to see young people basically become consumed by their thought, right? Their thought of this, their thought of that. because they didn't have people to interact with. And mom and dad obviously have to because things are expensive. You got a 2-paycheck household, and they're out just trying to make ends meet, bring home a paycheck, get the food that's necessary to live, pay the utilities, pay the mortgage, pay the rent. It's tough. It's tough. But one of the ways that I think a lot of this can be solved, and it can be a twofold situation. You know, we always talk about job numbers at the end of every month and how, it seems as always as it's around 200,000 as far as this country. But the majority of them are just, minimum wage paying jobs, and that's okay. But what everybody needs to understand with the minimum wage argument, minimum wage is not supposed to be life-sustaining. It's that bridge. It's for that young person who needs to get a job, make a little bit of money, open up a savings account, start understanding a checkbook, all the things that grow with becoming an adult. Or for that person who's retired and living off Social Security, needs a little extra money to supplement their income, right? That's what it's supposed to be. But the most important thing about these jobs, convenience stores, fast foods, grocery stores, all of them, and if you're listening to me right now and you've been thinking about some of these things as your teenager is fast asleep, be up in a couple of hours, another Saturday, which basically is like every day Saturday in the summertime, and you're off working and you're wondering what they're doing, my suggestion, if they're old enough and able, take them to a grocery store, take them to a convenience store, take them to a fast food restaurant, and get them a job. That's right. Get them a job. Make them fill out an application and make them go to work, even if it's 2 to 3 days a week. What this does, it gets them out of the house. It gets them structure, uniforms, punching a clock in and out, basically filling out that, application, all of the above. But more importantly, in any of those settings that I just mentioned, whether they're stocking shelves at Coons or working the window at McDonald's, whatever they're doing, they have to interact with people. They get to know coworkers. They talk with them in the break room. I'm telling you, it'll go a long way to get them on that right path. It's important because they have to understand that there is life outside the walls that they live in. Look, when we were growing up, you couldn't wait to get outside on a summer morning. You were up, bowl of cereal, you were gone. But now kids eat that cereal while they're playing video games or scrolling on their iPad or their laptop. It's all good to do that, but just like reading the back of that cereal box, you got to put the cereal away and you got to get going. And if they have a job to go to and then they start saving money, they understand the value of a dollar, but more importantly, they understand the value of communicating and building a friendship outside of their home with a lot of people from different walks of life, all races, religious beliefs, and opinions. That's a recipe for success. All right, news coming up next. Stay with us. Your Pratt Pack here till 1 o'clock today. KDKA. Good morning.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Are you smarter than an anchor man? And we have Joe from Penn Hills as a lifeline for me. Joe, what do you like? A, B, C?
Oh, I like the Super Mario. Is that A?
I'm going with you, Joe. You're my lifeline.
The answer was B, Incredibles 2.
Come on, Joe.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
While the world watches the stars at the FIFA World Cup this summer, Hyundai has its eyes on the next generation of talent. The future stars who are already turning heads at age 14. Because next doesn't wait for an invitation. And neither do we. Hyundai has always moved the future within reach. We did it when we made advanced safety standard on every vehicle and engineered EVs with ultra-fast charging capability. Because the future isn't some far-off concept. It's already here. Next starts now. Hyundai, an official partner of FIFA.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to Supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At Supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to Supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's Supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Join Beth Andrews for the Net Worth Financial Hour Saturdays at 1 to get the news and information you need to make your retirement dream a reality. That's the Net Worth Financial Hour with Beth Andrews, Saturdays at 1. Net Worth Advisors, LLC is a registered investment advisor.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 67 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Homicide and gun charges were held for court on a 15-year-old accused of killing a 17-year-old in the Cultural District downtown on June 14th. 15-year-old Riley Doubt facing those homicide charges after police and prosecutors say he shot and killed 17-year-old Elijah Thomas Hayden near the intersection of Penn Avenue and 7th Street. Now, during Friday's hearing, a Pittsburgh police detective said he initially drove Doubt to his home in the Hill District before returning a short time later to arrest Doubt after the detective learned Doubt was possibly involved in the shooting. Doubt's attorney argued the case should be placed in juvenile court. Now, charges of homicide were also held for court on a 16-year-old accused of killing a 19-year-old in Market Square downtown back on May 11th. A district judge made that decision on Friday after a hearing in which prosecutors outlined some of the details that led to the shooting. Prosecutors allege 16-year-old Bijan Dankins fired 4 shots at 19-year-old Terrell Little and striking Little twice before Dankins fled. Now, a Pittsburgh police officer testified he began performing first aid on Little, who was found near the Chipotle in a pool of blood, according to the prosecutors. Police also said that Dankins had violated his house arrest 4 months prior to the shooting by cutting off his ankle bracelet. Well, City Parks, along with our sister station, Whammo 107.3, they're hosting the Juneteenth finale event today called Whammo Day. Today's event will feature entertainment, vendors, and activities for all ages. In addition, city officials will be giving Whammo on-air talent Kiki a proclamation recognizing her leadership and passion for her community through the legacy of Whammo. We talked to Kiki about this special recognition she's receiving later today.
There's so many other people that definitely could use these accolades or could use this recognition, but I'm not going to stand in their way. If they want to give me a proclamation, okay. But yeah, that takes place at 3 o'clock today. I'm honored and privileged that the city recognizes me and my hard work.
Today's Whammo Day festivities take place from noon to 4 in Highland Park. KDK Radio News Time. We're coming up at 7:03. We've got the AccuWeather forecast next.
Here's a World Soccer Championship Team Spotlight, brought to you by the first ever Infiniti QX65 and by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's.
The U.S. plays on home soil with a squad full of big stars and a new generation of attacking talent. Their youthful, high-pressing style and a gifted forward who thrives in big moments make them a genuine threat to advance deep.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It will be mostly cloudy and humid today with some rain and a rumble of thunder, high up to 75. Clear to partly cloudy and humid tonight, low down to 66. Partly sunny tomorrow with a passing shower or two, high up to 80. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Riddy, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is an editorial by KDKA Radio Regional Vice President Michael Spacciapoli.
There have certainly been some very interesting moments with the Penguins over the years. One group owed Mario Lemieux so much money that he turned that into owning the team. That was a tremendous stroke of luck for Mario, the Pens, and of course, the fans. So, what will this change of ownership mean as we transition from the Fenway Sports Group to the Hoffman family of companies? We've got two words: Mario Lemieux. While the Fenway Group left the Pens in a better place than when they took over, they somehow managed to upset the great Mario. Not good. The Hoffmans have rolled out the red carpet for Super Mario, and immediately, everything seems right with the world again. These are hockey people. Yes, they are business people, but they love hockey every bit as much as they love making money. Welcome back, Mario, and welcome to the Hoffman family of companies. This just feels right.
This has been an editorial by KDKA Radio Regional Vice President Michael Spacciapoli. To view a transcript, go to kdkaradio.com.
The following is paid for by EV True Value. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
You know, when you start preparing to get ready for the weekend, these are long days. I mean, we're here at 4 a.m. until 1. You just look for those little windows that you get a chance to kind of kick back and, like most of you, enjoy listening to the show. When I saw that he was going to be in at 7 a.m., after what I've been doing over the last couple of days and how the week started with work here, I said, I have Andy here at 7 a.m., and one thing this guy can do, he can talk. So Andy Amron, a little early, a breakfast edition, if you will, and we're going to be talking about Harmony Organic Insect Control and Sniper. But here's the best news of all. You get a double dose of Andy, not just now, but in the 10 o'clock hour on the True Value Home Improvement Show. But we're going to open the phone line. So not only about the topic we're going to give you today, but anything in the way of home improvement, and being that the big home improvement weekend of the 4th of July is just around the bend, and his annual tent sale is as well just days away. What a golden opportunity to phone in, get the information you need, and then get the EV True Value for that tent sale and pennies on the dollar. So 866-391-1020. Without further ado, here he is in the 7 a.m. hour, and aren't we happy, Mr. True Value, Andy Amron. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Rob. But, when they KDKA called and said, hey, you want an extra hour? Me talk an extra hour on radio? I never say no to that. And this time of year, July 4th, our tent sale and everything. Yeah, this is one of my favorite times a year with it because how busy we are. But, we have just been slammed with calls on insects. This has been a perfect scenario, perfect year for bugs of all sorts to be thriving. So when, I got the call to, hey, you want to talk about Harmony and spend an extra hour on their radio? Sure, why not? And, Harmony is a product that I helped a manufacturer come up with. It's not my formula, it's their formula, but I'm very, very big on organics, on doing things naturally. It's better for you. It's better for the environment. And for years and years, I've been in the home improvement industry 53, going on 54 years now. So my whole life has been home improvement, and with lawn and garden and building and hammers and the carpenters and plumbing and electrical and the whole bit on it. But the industry has changed so much in those 53 years, where when I started, there was no such thing as organics, doing something organic. There was always chemicals, and those out there that are of our age, they're going to remember the old Chloridane products, the ortho products that we used to sell in glass bottles because of how effective they were, but how dangerous they were, how toxic they were. And Chloridane, it killed everything, from termites to ants to the whole bit. And, here we are 50 plus years later, and it's amazing how the newest versions of organic do everything that Chloridane product did. And in today's world, one of your number one chemicals in your ortho home pest controls and your products like that is pyrethrin. And pyrethrin is just another insecticide, not anywhere near as deadly as the old Chloridane and diazinon products, but, it kills insects. And now here we have, came out 3 years ago, a product called Harmony. Harmony, like the name says, it's in harmony with the with the environment, and it does an amazing job of killing insects. And Harmony is soybean. It's a soybean-based product. Think of it, it's a plant-based product that kills the insects. And so spraying it around your house, spraying it around your kids, spraying it in the classroom, spraying it in the field, spraying it in your yard, it kills the insects that you don't want, but it does it organically. And so as long as you're not allergic to soybean, you have a product that's going to kill those silverfish. It's going to kill those bed bugs. It's going to kill those ants. It's going to kill those termites. It's going to kill those bugs that you don't want inside and outside your house, but it's going to do it with plant extract. And it is a product called Harmony. And over the 3 years that we've had this product at a lot of your True Value stores, we've come up with different versions of the Harmony, because from the original green label Harmony, which has a 60-day residual that you can go ahead and spray your mattresses for bed bugs. And we sell it to school districts and hospitals and airlines and so forth. So you could spray it when little Johnny is in the classroom for ants and not worry about him having a chemical reaction to it. We came up with one just for those fragile plants that doesn't have the 60-day residual. And then we also came up with a mosquito repellent one. So here we are going into July 4th, and now you have Harmony for mosquitoes. And what we found is adding a little bit of extra spearmint and cinnamon to that soybean base, it keeps those mosquitoes from flying around. So, and I'm sure probably a lot of other people know that, I have a lake house, somewhere I go on the vacations with my wife, and, we have a deck out there and a patio, and, it's entertaining to me, let's say, that I'm sitting on the deck with my wife. And,
experimenting.
She is just eaten alive with mosquitoes, and I never get a single bite, and she goes, I tell you what, you better find a way to keep those mosquitoes off me, or we're not going to be spending much time on this deck out by the lake anymore. So worked with the Harmony folks and got something that was where the original Harmony kills mosquitoes on contact. It really didn't help prevent the mosquitoes from coming back. So we have a special Harmony just for mosquitoes that you spray around the patio, spray around your furniture. Once again, all completely organic based, but now we don't get bitten by the mosquitoes and we don't have traps sitting out there trying to do. We're not lighting the citronella candles and so forth. You could still do all that, but with the Harmony mosquito spray, it keeps the mosquitoes away for weeks at a time. You could spray plants with it, spray decks with it, spray the furniture with it, spray whatever you want with it because it's 100% organic. So, Pittsburgh, welcome to the Harmony family.
All right, we're in Harmony today, so give us a call, 866-391-1020. But anything on your mind in the way of true value home improvement, we'll take it. Andy here a couple of hours earlier than normal. Next hour, Best of Edition, Secure Money Advisors on the Money, Brian Caranta and I. Then Lance O'Brien, MediConnect, the Inside Connection, and the True Value Home Improvement Show, AAA Central's Talking Travel, Zachariah Brown Brackovich, Law for the Elderly. Minute before the break, tent sale. Tell them about it.
Yeah, tent sale. It's a July 4th weekend, but with July 4th being Saturday, it's going to be July 3rd, July 4th, July 5th. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's so big this year, Rob. The crew actually put up the tent yesterday.
Cool.
They have so much prep work to do. If you drive by the store this weekend, you're going to see the tent up. It's not ready, no peeking. But we have so much stuff this year. I really should put up 2 tents. I just don't have room in the parking lot. If I put up 2 tents, there's nowhere for anyone to park.
So what are some of the things, pennies on the dollar?
There's a lot of garage organizing stuff this year. So a lot of pegboard accessories, but also there's a new version of pegboard that comes in 12-inch plastic squares that are 16-inch on the centers. So an easy way to put a wall up of pegboard type fasteners and then put all the baskets and hooks and organizers and everything like that with it. A lot of patio furniture, a lot of cleaning supplies, a lot of lawnmowers, a lot of trimmers, a lot of lawn and garden, a lot of electrical, plumbing. I mean, every department of it. They've been planning for months and months and months for this tent sale.
All right, July 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and I'm going to try to get out there on Friday the 3rd, do a little video work for Andy because he's always here for us, and he's here for you right now at 866-391-1020. We're going to talk to Linda McCandless when we get back. Great opportunity to talk to Mr. True Value in the 7 a.m. hour, 866-391-1020.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations that serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Connor Griffin returned to the lineup and hit a homer. Paul Skeens on the hill didn't take the loss, but he just couldn't get it done, nor could the Pirates. They lose to the Reds 6-4 the final, and they'll be at it again today, 4:05. You can hear it all. First pitch, 93.7 The Fan. Maple Leafs select Penn State's Gavin McKinnon, number 1 overall pick, NHL draft last night in Buffalo. Penguins select forward Liam Ruck with the 22nd overall pick in the draft. The 6-foot, 174-pound right winger put up 104 points in 68 games with the Medicine Hat Tigers of the Western Hockey League this season. And World Cup action yesterday, it was France defeating Norway 4-1. Team USA back in action on Wednesday, July 1st, 8 Eastern against Bosnia-Herzegovina in the round of 32. And through 2 rounds at the Travelers Championship, your leader is world number 1 Scotty Scheffler. He shot a second round 60. He's at 16 under, good for a 2-shot lead. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Have you or a loved one recently needed nursing home care? This can be very expensive, and you could lose your life savings without proper planning. The attorneys at Julian Gray Associates have helped thousands of families navigate these difficult situations. Visit grayelderlaw.com.
I built this business the old-fashioned way. Hard work and a whole lot of spreadsheets.
Yeah, about that, I upgraded us to Odoo. Odoo puts everything we need, sales, inventory, accounting, on one connected platform. No more juggling systems, no more headaches.
So it all works together?
Exactly.
Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
You know, this is a great treat for my audience. Not that they don't like to talk to me, but everybody loves to talk to this guy. So Andy's here, 866-391-1020. Here's Lynn and McCandless early on a Saturday morning with Mr. True Value. Hi, Lynn.
Good morning. I just was listening, and I'm one of those ones that gets bit by all these different insects. My husband doesn't, but I do. And you said that Harmony works on mosquitoes.
Correct.
Mainly with me, a lot of times I think it's those no-see-ums and other bugs that aren't necessarily mosquitoes. Does it work on those two, or just basically mosquitoes?
No, absolutely. They work on all of them. The differences between there's three labels to Harmony. The green label's the original label, which works on all insects itself and has a 60-day residual effect on them. Then there's the orange label, which is a diluted version of the green label, but it's just for those plants that are very fragile, where the regular Harmony you can use on most plants. There's some plants out there like your herbs and so forth that are just so fragile you don't want to use the full strength, so you get the plant the garden version of it, which is a lot safer it's a diluted version for those type of plants. And then there's the mosquito one that has, besides the soybean, it has some garlic, some peppermint, some cinnamon, some white pepper, some rosemary, some different natural organic items in it that keep away the insects. It kills on contact, but it repels a lot more of the flying, biting type of insects. So the mosquito spray one is the one that I use outside on the patio, and I spray it around the deck, and I could get under the deck, so I will spray around and under and around where our fire pit is and the grills are and into the grass in the yards. And I do a area around that my wife and I like to sit outside of. And now she could sit outside without having to put on the deep woods off and the DEET sprays and so forth, which just makes her skin so oily. She doesn't enjoy having to spray down to sit outside. So now this kills the ones that it comes in contact, but it has the aromas and the repellents out there that keeps the biting insects away from her and us as we're sitting outside itself. So the regular Harmony one, the green label one, is the one that you could spray around the foundation of the house. You could spray inside the house. You could spray in your kitchen. You could spray on the kitchen counter. You can spray down the drain if you got the fruit flies coming out of the drain. It is so safe. You could use it in operating rooms. You could use it in preschools around kids. You can use it in airlines, around your cars, around your boats, around whatever, because it's a higher concentration of soybean. So it kills on contact, but it has a 60-day residual to keep those bugs out of the house and around the foundation itself. So there's three distinct products, all amazing in their own characteristics on it. So, but you could get these at any of your True Value stores, or if you want to look up and read up on them, we developed a website. It's called HarmonyOrganicInsectControl.com, just HarmonyOIC.com. and you'll see the site is set up, and everything is free shipping. So if you want to try one, and because Rob dragged me into the studio today, I had my tech people put everything at 20% off for the next week. So it's available today in the stores or online at 20% off, and online it's free shipping. So take a look at the website and you could see the 3 distinct products, the green label, orange label, purple label, but the one we use outside on the deck is the mosquito spray. The one we use around everywhere else except delicate plants is the green label one. But amazing organic-based products, and I've been working with them for over 3 years, and they work amazingly. I have a anthill that popped up around my rose bushes. I went out there last Saturday. I sprayed them, and I watched all the ants die as I finished spraying them. Before I could walk away, the ant mound was gone.
Wow!
And it's organic. It's soybean. It is very, very safe product.
That's wonderful. My ears perked up because I'm a retired OR nurse, and when you said it was safe in the OR, there are so many things that you have to be so careful about. So that tells me that it's really good. Can you spray it on your shoes? My husband plays softball. Can you spray it on all your chairs, because there's so many insects when we go to watch?
The original green label one. When I go hiking, I love to go hiking and fishing and out in the woods. I spray it on my pant legs, my shirt sleeves, my hat, my shoes, because I don't want to get bit by ticks. And I have a lot of vet friends. Some of them you guys maybe will know, but my vet friends, some of them have quit using tick and flea control tablets and collars on their dogs. They use the regular or Harmony green label, and they spray their dog down with it, and they just knead it through the fur onto the skin, and they do that about once a week or until the dog jumps in the lake or the pond or the stream or it rains or something and washes it off, because it is an amazing way of preventing ticks and flea bites. And if you spray it on a tick, the tick dies. But yes, definitely, I spray it on my golf shoes and my pant legs, or when I go hiking, I spray it on my hiking pants. You could put it on your skin. It's not going to hurt you. It's just when I'm hiking, I always have long pants. I don't really ever want to go hiking in shorts. But yes, I spray it on my shoes and pants and everything. So it's an amazing way to prevent.
I pick up a lot of litter too. So
yeah,
litter. So when I go out and pick up litter, that'd probably be the great thing to put on.
Yeah, put it on your sleeves and your gloves. Yep.
Yes. Okay. Thanks so much, Andy. Thanks,
sure,
Rob.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. Anybody else wants to jump in here? Now's the time. We got some phone lines available. You can talk about our topic or anything in the way of home improvement. Kind of the studio warm up for the True Value Home Improvement Show at 10. Paul will be here from
R.C.
Walters and Son, and Mike, of course, from Sarver True Value Rental. So they'll all be here today, along with Andy taking your phone calls. But in the meantime, Andy would love to talk to you right now. 866-391-1020. So this morning in the first hour, we got talking about ticks. We were talking about this uptick in measles issues as far as Pennsylvania is concerned. Lots of outbreaks as far as measles throughout the country. What about ticks? And a lot of people actually think maybe ticks have a lot to do with some of these other things coming back again. You'd mentioned about this product for ticks. Talk about that.
Well, Rob, I been doing research on ticks and that for years.
Long time.
And, not only does Pennsylvania have the privilege of being the #1 state in the country for the number of ticks.
Really?
Allegheny County is the #1 county in the state of Pennsylvania for ticks.
We're getting overrun with deer. That's why.
So we win. We got more than anyone else, Allegheny County and so forth for it. So we've worked very closely trying to help with the battle against ticks. Now, I'm not going to say Harmony is something you want to buy a bottle of and go spray acres and acres of ground. You can, and it's not going to hurt any of the vegetation and so forth with it. But there's, granular products that you could do your fields and your house and so forth with it to help against the battle of ticks. There's chemical-based ones. Jonathan Green actually makes an organic insect granular product that you can do 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 square foot properties and everything with it.
Really?
That does help. But the Harmony is one that we wanted to come up with something that you can use on your pets or on yourself.
That's the key.
To kill and prevent the ticks
Well,
from
every time you come in
coming
and out,
onto your
dog
pant
walk,
legs and so
yard
forth.
work, spray yourself
Right.
before you go out. Smart.
Yeah. So yes, this is a product you could spray on your pet, work it into the fur of the pet itself, and go out for a walk and takes care of those fleas and ticks. But
So-
they are nasty bugs.
What size bottles? I mean, what we have, we're looking at now, but what size can you buy this
The
in?
Harmony, the original Harmony label comes in a 4-ounce travel size, which is TSA approved, so you could take it
on airplanes.
when you travel, or if you're going to the beach and you don't want to be bitten by fleas and that while
That's
you're
a
in the
great
sand on
idea.
the beach. You can take a 4-ounce travel bottle. They make the 32-ounce quart size, and there is a gallon size. What we found, I do a lot with farmers, and we have farmers that have, with horses and cows, they spray the horses and cows because of so many flea and fly bites, and it keeps them off the animals, the farm animals.
I'm not plowing the back 40, but when I cut grass, I'm going to get some of this stuff. All right, we're going to come back. It's Harmony, this organic, this insect fighter, and, of course, Sniper. But anything on your mind in the way of home improvement, we've got Alan and McMurray. We'll get to him after Rob checks the news minutes away. We are just underway for a Saturday here until 1 o'clock. It's your Pratt Pack, KDKA, 100.1 FM, AM 1020. Good morning.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
This summer, your passport isn't required. Welcome to Summer in Tokyo at P.F. Chang's. Inspired by the color and energy of Tokyo's vibrant sushi scene, these limited-time creations bring bold flavors in every bite. Discover new sushi rolls, steak tataki, and lobster and prawn fried rice inspired by one of the world's most exciting food destinations. Cruise through Tokyo, one roll at a time aboard our sushi boat with wave after sushi wave of unforgettable taste. Summer in Tokyo at P.F. Chang's. Your journey to Tokyo starts here.
For generations, you've listened to us in your kitchen, catching baseball games on your front porch, and ending your day as your bedtime buddy. Now, you can watch us every day on your TV with our new KDKA Radio YouTube page, or by clicking on KDKARadio.com. It's presented by Metropolitan Windows. Same great content, more live visuals. The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 67 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7:30. I'm Rob Taylor. Charges of homicide were held for court on a 16-year-old accused of killing a 19-year-old in Market Square back on May 11th. A district judge made that decision on Friday after a hearing in which prosecutors outlined some of the details that led to the shooting. Prosecutors allege 16-year-old Bajan Dankins fired 4 shots at 19-year-old Tara Little, striking Little twice before Dankins fled. Pittsburgh police officer testified he began performing first aid on Little, who prosecutors say was found near the Chipotle in a pool of blood. Police also say that Dankins violated his house arrest 4 months prior to the shooting by cutting off his ankle bracelet. One Armstrong County woman facing theft by unlawful taking, receiving stolen property, and other charges after investigators say she stole almost $300,000 from a refrigeration company where she used to work. DA's office says 34-year-old Ashley Apperson of West Leechburg stole from the Ventec refrigeration company in Penn Hills between January of last year and May of this year. DA's office says nearly 90 non-payroll checks that were unauthorized by the business were issued to Apperson. Prosecutors allege Apperson also made unauthorized purchases on a company credit card. Police say Apperson admitted to using some of the funds for online gambling. She's facing a preliminary hearing in early July. Well, a new historical marker stands at the corner of 3rd Avenue and Market Street downtown, honoring George B. Vachon, the lawyer, educator, and abolitionist who broke barriers in the 1800s. Among those at the Friday unveiling was Vachon's great-great-grandson, Paul Thornell, who says seeing his family recognized in Pittsburgh is especially meaningful.
Oh, I think it's so fantastic. I mean, look, we are on our way to a more perfect union. We are not there yet. I don't know that we'll ever get there. But the work of John Beavishawn and George Beavishawn in the Abolitionist Crusade, and the work that George Beavishawn did as an educator, writer, lawyer, poet, to bring so many more people along. But fundamentally, they did it as Americans.
Thornell tells KDKA Radio he hopes the marker will help future generations learn about Vashon's lasting impact on Pittsburgh and the nation. Happening later this evening, crews getting ready for the America 250 PA Commonwealth Concert coming to the Point downtown. That's tonight. Musical acts Nelly, Third Eye Blind, Frizzy will perform to a sold-out crowd. Gates open at 5 o'clock for the City of Pittsburgh. The concert marks the start of the 4th of July festivities, culminating with Pittsburgh's 4th of July fireworks extravaganza next Saturday, also at the Point. KDKA Radio News Time, 7:33. AccuWeather forecast coming up.
In Pittsburgh, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 25 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Pittsburgh. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Don't miss the Pittsburgh Music Festival, July 11th and 12th at Pittsburgh Brewing Company in Creighton. Featuring Joe Grishecki and the House Rockers, Billy Price Band, Norman Nardini, The Gathering Field, and more. Benefiting Band Together Pittsburgh and Autism Pittsburgh. Presented by Pittsburgh Brewing Company and U.S. Steel. Tickets at PittsburghMusicFestival.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It'll be mostly cloudy and humid today with some rain and a thunderstorm. Somehow the rain could be heavy, high up to 75. Staying humid tonight, low 66. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or two, high up to 80, up to 88 on Monday. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Ridney, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by EV True Value.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, bump, dun. Pennies on the dollar, tent sale, July 3rd, 4th, 5th, real quick, and then we'll go back to these busy phones. Andy.
No, there's a lot of stuff in our tent sale, and everyone knows how much fun I have in the tent sale.
You love it.
I got youngsters coming down to cook hot dogs on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and from a lot of Coast of Maine products on sale to mulch on sale to trimmers and lawnmowers and wheelbarrows and garage organizers and power tools and boy, you name it. I get excited when my staff is, spending hours every day getting everything ready for the tent sale. So, and people move the flat and peek in. Can I see? And they chase them away. Say, no, you got to come back the 3rd. But, we love the tent sale.
A little plug for our buddy Doug, who's in Poland.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow, Aaron Hart, Farm to Table, will be my guest. So
nice.
looking forward to that. Good people. All right, here we go. Alan and McMurray for Mr. True Value, Andy Amrine. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning. What do you think of these walk-in showers?
In what aspect? I mean, as we are aging older and so forth, it's very hard to lift our bodies, our legs and so forth over top of the sides of the tub. And if you have a tub and you don't want to convert it into a straight shower and you want to get the tub that has the door on it to go in and out, I don't have any problem with it. I've seen them. I've worked with them. I have nothing bad to say about any of it. It's all in the installation, but they're good. They're practical. I prefer just a straight shower stall. ripping the tub out and putting a floor in and towel up or walls up and having it a straight shower stall instead of a walk-in type unit. But if you still want to have access to a soaking tub and you want the units that have the doors on it, they function very, very well. They have a good seal on the doors, and they do everything you want it to, and it has a lot safer instead of trying to step over the bathtub itself, which is very, very problematic, even if you have the grab bars and stools and seats and everything like that on them. As our society ages out, a regular bathtub is very, very problematic, that's for sure.
Yeah, they seem real popular.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they are getting more popular as we get older. I'm 66, and I have a shower stall. Yeah, I have a bathtub in the house, but I can't tell you the last time I tried to get into the bathtub. I use the shower because I know sometimes my legs just don't work as well as they used to, huh, Rob?
Believe me, I get it. All right. Hey, Alan, thanks for the call. 866-391-1020. Andy is here. If you have a question, give us a call. Tell him why we are also here talking Harmony.
Yeah,
today.
we were talking Harmony. We have it's been a big couple of weeks on people calling me about bugs and insects on their plants to around their decks to the inside the house, outside the house. And so I thought I'd take the occasion to talk about Harmony. We could talk about Sniper and Knockout, the other products that are very unique to our True Value hardware stores. Sniper being your hospital-grade disinfectant that you can use as a hand sanitizer, or we use it in hospitals also, or Knockout is the version made by the Sniper family just for smells. We use them everywhere from skunk smells on dogs to sanitation to wastewater treatment plants to hockey bags to anything. But Harmony is our version of organics for insects, and it's been a big time of year on fleas and ticks and ants and bed bugs and mosquitoes. So you can look at the HarmonyOIC.com and read about the products, and it offers free shipping and 20% off on any of the Harmony products. Or there's a website for Sniper if you want. It's disinfectwithsniper.com. We're stopped by the True Value stores, and they could show them to you in person. Amazing products, Rob.
All right, here we go. Right back to the phones. 866-391-1020. It's Lee in Mount Olive wants to talk skunks. Hey, Lee.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How are we?
Good.
All right. Yeah, I live in an area where it's heavily wooded, but the other day I encountered not one but about 5 skunks in my yard, and made it a little hard to enter and exit my house. So
I can believe that.
Being held at bay by skunks is not a fun thing. But anyway, so what does this? Did you say Sniper has something? Or
well, I mean, if you're looking to dissolve the smell of skunk, we have a product called Knockout, NOK-OUT. It is made by the same company that makes Sniper. It is a stabilized chlorine dioxide product. But the Knockout is absolutely amazing for dissipating skunk smell. We have, once again, my vet friends, they keep a bottle of Knockout by the back door. And when they have dogs or animals that come into their clinics that have even the wet dog smell or a skunk smell or anything on it, they will spray the dog down, the animal down, the cat down, whatever. So it is very, very safe to use on humans and pets, but it dissipates that skunk smell instantaneously. So you have skunk smells outside your house. You could spray the plants, the grass, the doors, the patio, everything down with it, and it'll instantly destroy that smell of the skunks itself. We do a lot with wastewater treatment plants even, and if you know anything about a wastewater treatment plants, when the waste comes in, there's liquids and solids mixed. They separate liquids and solids, and they have to press the solids. And we have these Knockout product that is misted on top of the sewage plant lines where they're pressing the waste, and you cannot smell any of the sewage because it instantly dissipates even the waste sewage as it's being pressed. So just an amazing, amazing odor killer called Knockout. Now, if you want to see that, go to the disinfectwithsniper.com website, and you could learn about it. You could order it on the website and get free shipping, or you could pick it up at Sarver True Value or Piper True Value, RC Walters, EV True Value. Any of the local True Value stores have the Knockout on the shelf also.
Another question: what could I put around the house to maybe deter them away from my house?
Well, that's another whole conversation. What the skunks are eating are the insects in your ground, and I'm betting the number one food for grubs, if there's that, or the number one food for the skunks, if they're traveling in a pack like that, you have grubs in your yard. You get rid of the grubs, you're going to get rid of the skunks. That's their number one food this time of year is grubs. So putting an insecticide down in your yard to kill the grubs, chances are the skunks will be gone within 24 hours. Now, if you're going after the grubs, you have to make sure you're using a product that's a 24-hour grub killer. Do not buy the Scott's Grub X. Scott's Grub X is a preventer. It's not a killer. So putting that down when you already have them is a complete total waste of $50. So you have to get like the 24-hour grub killer. Jonathan Green makes one. I can't think of the other brand name. Bear. Bear is the other company that makes an amazing one. But you have to make sure you're getting an insecticide that's called a 24-hour kill. Do not buy the GrubX products. It will not help you in your case. But if you put that down today, the rain will wash it in very quickly. Those grubs will be gone in 24 hours, and your skunks will go look somewhere else.
All right. Thank you very much.
Sure.
I really appreciate that.
Good. Good luck with your battle today.
All right, we'll come back. One more segment with Mr. True Value, who have a short turnaround. He'll be back with Mike and Paul, RC Walters and Son, and Sarver True Value Rental. And Andy is coming back for one more segment right now. So if you want to get some calls in, now would be a great time to dial up. 866-391-1020. This is, of course, your Pratt Pack for a Saturday morning till 1 o'clock on KDKA. Good morning.
When the weather turns bad, turn to us for the best news, weather, and traffic information from the KDKA Radio Storm Center. Presented by Duquesne Light Company. Larger than light. Online and on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA. News Radio KDKA. Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. Connor Griffin returned to the lineup and hit a homer. Paul Skeens on the hill didn't take the loss, but he just couldn't get it done, nor could the Pirates. They lose to the Reds 6-4 the final, and they'll be at it again today, 4:05. You can hear it all. First pitch, 93.7 The Fan. Maple Leafs select Penn State's Gavin McKinnon, number 1 overall pick NHL draft last night in Buffalo. Penguins select forward Liam Ruck with the 22nd overall pick in the draft. The 6-foot, 174-pound right winger put up 104 points in 68 games with the Medicine Hat Tigers of the Western Hockey League this season. And World Cup action yesterday, it was France defeating Norway 4-1. Team USA back in action on Wednesday, July 1st, 8 Eastern against Bosnia-Herzegovina in the round of 32. And through 2 rounds at the Travelers Championship, your leader is world number 1 Scotty Scheffler. He shot a second round 60. He's at 16 under, good for a 2-shot lead. More sports at 937thefan.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Morgan & Morgan isn't just an injury firm. It's our family's life work. It's my husband, it's my sons, it's me. When we take a case, we see a family just like ours. $30 billion recovered is something I'm proud of. But what I'm really proud of are the families we stood beside. It's an honor to fight for you when you need our support the most. Morgan & Morgan, for the people and your family.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwyck Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, tell them about the tent sale.
Yeah, tent sale, July 3rd, 4th, 5th at EV True Value in Bethel Park at 5779 Library Road. Rob, we've done this for over 25 years. And it's just a way of me moving excess inventory because we get inventory all the time. And, with the store, if it doesn't sell enough, we get rid of it because I'm constantly trying to find new products to have in the store, like the Harmony and the Sniper and the Knockout. So I have to make room and get rid of stuff that didn't sell quite as well as I wanted, or if we bought too many, because as the buyer, I'm never right. I never have enough of the right item, or I have too much of the wrong item. So if the wrong items that I have too much of, that's what we put out there for pennies on the dollar. From lawnmowers to patio furniture to lawn and garden to fertilizers to soils to trimmers to hammers to whatever, to flower pots and watering cans. There'll be everything next weekend for the tent sale itself. But, I was taking advantage of being offered an extra hour to visit with you, Mr. Pratt. So I thought I'd take the time to really, because I haven't had a chance on our regular Saturday hours to really dig deep into what Harmony and Sniper and Knockout are, because we just take call after call, and the calls are anything from showers to bugs to whatever the case may be on it. So I wanted to take advantage of this hour to really talk about the world of Harmony and the world of Sniper, but Harmony in particular, because this is, it's July basically. We're a few days away of it. And July, you're in the heat of the summer and the bugs are loving it. From the ants to the grubs to the fleas and ticks are so prevalent right now. And to have a product that you can use inside your house, inside your kitchen, whether it's classrooms, preschools, hospitals, airlines, boats, cars, to where it's going to kill those insects, but help prevent those insects from coming back. The regular Harmony, our number one seller insecticide, the Green Label Harmony, has that soybean-based product, but it also has that 60-day residual to it that it's going to continue to prevent those ants and spiders and termites and everything from coming in the house, but you can spray it inside or out. And then the Orange Label Harmony for Gardens, the Harmony for Gardens, it's the one that you could use on all plants. It's a diluted version of the regular Harmony, but it is safe for your fruits, safe for your vegetables, safe for the delicate type plants, where the original Harmony, because it has that residual, sometimes, you'll see a residual white powdery thing left back on the plants. On regular plants, it's not a problem, but on delicate plants, that's why we came out with the diluted version, I'll call it, which is just safe on all your flowers, all your plants. And if you're a gardener and, look at my daughter and son-in-law who have those 25 acres of a flower farm. This is what they use on their dahlias and their roses. And, they that's how they make a living. And so they use and I pretty much developed this with them in mind, coming up with a product that'll do the insects for them on all their flowers, and not hurt any of the plants. And he didn't want the residual. They just wanted to kill on contact. And then the mosquito. This is their type of year. So had to help come up with one to make sure my wife is happy with around our patios, and so we could sit out and enjoy the evenings and build a campfire, and she doesn't get bit up with mosquitoes.
You realize that little lake place that you have in Ohio, there's a lot of history down there.
Yeah.
That's an amazing place. And Cadiz, or Cadiz, however you want to pronounce it, that's where Clark Gable was born.
Yeah, we went to their farmers. Yeah, we went to his house. We did a tour of the Clark Gable Museum. It is. They had his cars there and everything else. So, yeah, it's all good.
Hey, I want to take care of the hometown Bethel Park. Coming up, the big Bethel Park Art and Music Festival on July 25th.
That's my baby. That's we developed that. I love the artists. I have zero talent.
When it comes to being an artist.
But my good friends, Jono and Maria Prasic and Linda Barnicott and the rest of the crew. I wanted to have an arts festival that is for them. So we have over 105 artists coming, 10 and 11 food trucks and different vendors and 11 musicians. And it's a big deal. Last year I had 5,000 people there. And, it's not like the big arts festivals in Pittsburgh where these artists have to pay thousands of dollars for a booth. We give them the space. We give them the time. And we let them show their work. So we love that Art and Music Festival, July 25th, Park Avenue in Bethel Park.
What a nice weekend, because guess who's here tomorrow at 9? The Schmutzers, Metropolitan Window.
Tell them we said hi.
Good people, right?
Yeah, dear friends. Absolutely dear friends.
What I love about this weekend family that I have, these are people that have withstood the test of time. They're local. They take care of you because they're your neighbors, their family, their friends. And you can't argue with him over a half a century, them 40-plus years doing what they're doing.
They're babies, only 40-some years,
think about
45
Eddie,
years.
You've been there since you were a kid.
I was 13. So
then you would agree with me what I was saying today. To get kids out to communicate, if they're old enough, 16 and over, get them a job.
Absolutely. I have an amazing staff, 35 employees. I'm going to say I have 12, 13 high school kids working for me right now. Amazing. They're handpicked. I have a waiting list of people that want to work for us. I'm very, very blessed when it comes to that. And my high school students that work for me are amazing, and they stay through high school, through college, and some of them have never left. So I love my staff. They allow me to do like this radio show, Rob. I couldn't leave on a Saturday if it wasn't for my amazing staff.
Well, what you have to do, too, you have to give them the opportunity to fail, too.
Oh, and they do. And we pick them up. I support them 100%.
By leaving them on a Saturday, that really helps them take giant steps forward.
Absolutely.
And I will say this, their customer service at Evie, and I say they because I'm not talking about you because you're the best of the best, young and not so young, they know how it works.
They do. Like I said, I have amazing staff, and they're taught well. So,
listen, when I'm out there, and I'll be there this Friday, I watch you basically tell them and guide them, and it's like watching a great coach tell his players what to do.
Thank you. But no, go to 412-835-5780 is for the store. It's 5779 Library Road in Bethel Park, shopev.com, or you can go to harmonyoic.com, or you can go to disinfectwithsniper.com. We have different websites. You could see all of it on shopev.com if you want to just go to that one. But, the Harmony products that we talked about so much today, go to harmonyoic.com or, stop down to the store. 20% off for the next week through the tent sale. But free shipping from the websites.
And coming up in just a little bit, it'll be the True Value Home Improvement Show. Paul from RC Waters and Son, Mike from Sarver True Value Rental, and Andy, Mr. True Value, of course, Evie True Value. Pennies on the dollar, 10 sale. It's that 4th of July tradition, July 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Hope to see each and every one of you there. Andy, we'll see you in a couple of hours. Stay tuned. News coming up next at 8.
The proceeding was paid for by EV True Value. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Are you smarter than an anchor man? And we have Joe from Penn Hills as a lifeline for me. Joe, what do you like? A, B, C?
Oh, I like the Super Mario. Is that A?
I'm going with you, Joe. You're my lifeline.
The answer was B, Incredibles 2.
Come on, Joe.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from. But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work. And they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know, taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 68 degrees in Pittsburgh International at 8 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Homicide and gun charges were held for court on a 15-year-old accused of killing a 17-year-old in the Cultural District downtown back on June 14th. 15-year-old Riley Doubt is facing those homicide charges after police say he shot and killed 17-year-old Elijah Thomas Hayden near the intersection of Penn Avenue and 7th Street. Now, during Friday's hearing, a Pittsburgh police detective said he initially drove Doubt to his home in the Hill District before returning a short time later and arresting him after the detective learned that Doubt was possibly involved in that shooting. Doubt's attorney argues the case should be placed in juvenile court. Well, a new historical marker stands at the corner of 3rd Avenue and Market Street downtown, honoring George B. Vachon, a lawyer, educator, and abolitionist who broke barriers in the 1800s. Among those at Friday's unveiling was Vachon's great-great-grandson, Paul Thornell, who says seeing his family recognized in Pittsburgh is especially meaningful.
Oh, I think it's so fantastic. I mean, look, we are on our way to a more perfect union. We are not there yet. I don't know that we'll ever get there. But the work of John B. Vachon and George B. Vachon in the Abolitionist Crusade, and the work that George B. Vachon did as an educator, writer, lawyer, poet, to bring so many more people along. But fundamentally, they did it as Americans.
Thornell telling KDKA Radio he hopes the marker will help future generations learn about Vachon's lasting impact on Pittsburgh and the nation. Happening later today, Cruise getting ready for the Point State Park Concert America 250 Commonwealth Concert Series. It invades the Point tonight. Musical acts include Nelly, Third Eye Blind. Also, Frizzy will perform to a sold-out crowd. Gates open at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Now, for the city of Pittsburgh, the concert marks the start of the 4th of July festivities, which culminate with the big, loud 4th of July extravaganza fireworks show next Saturday, July 4th, also